Hello and welcome to the Super Basement Bro Show. I'm Connor and I'm joined by my co-hosts Tanner and Hasten.
Hi.
If you guys didn't know, we're a podcast dedicated to the world of entertainment. We love celebrating all parts of it, including movies, video games, pop culture, theme parks, you name it. Anything entertainment related is what we focus on. We bring some news from the last week or two and talk about that, discuss that, and then we always have our topic for the show, and then we usually play a game at the end of the episode. In the past, we've done Guess That, which is a competition where you try and guess a video game or a movie or something like that, and lately we've been doing a game called Deathmatch, where we
which isn't really a game, per se.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of is, because you're deciding who wins.
I would like to point out how streamlined we've become, how we have now the only one laptop, and me and you have given up on bringing ours.
I can figure this out. I don't need sources.
We were kind of bringing them for no reason, do we? Look at them for like 2 seconds, and then...
It's going to really suck when one day this laptop gives out during the middle of our podcast,
or
like
just
45 minutes in or an hour in, and it's going to corrupt it, and we're going to be like, great, we didn't have any backup.
Because you guys don't
We're
even
going to have
see...
to finally switch to the actual, like, the Skype wave.
Yeah.
You guys don't even see the scariest part of the podcast, which is at the end, when we're all sitting there like...
waiting for it to save.
And then it saves, and we're like, oh, good. Because one of these times, 2 hours is going to be gone from our lives, because it's just going to get...
One day it's going to happen. It hasn't happened.
It's bound to happen.
If you're listening to this episode, it didn't happen on this episode, which is good news.
Congrats. But if you're not, then
you'll never know.
But nobody will be listening.
Congrats, you get to listen to us.
Congrats, we're talking to ourselves and nobody's hearing us.
Congrats, we're lonely. We have 22 subscribers.
All right, well, Tanner, you want to pick social media?
Oh, yeah. So we have social media, of course. We have just a Twitter and Instagram. Instagram at Super Basement Bros, and then Twitter at Super Bros Videos. So just go check us out. We post regularly most of the time when we upload. They're usually pretty well put together. So yeah, just check us out. Give us a follow. Leave us a comment. Same with our YouTube channel. Just talk to us.
Yeah, leave us a comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and we really want to take your guys' feedback into what we do. And so leave us a comment, give us a topic idea. We'd love to discuss it.
Collectibles.
Mom,
I just thought about that. Like, we got to do collectibles.
Please leave us a comment.
That's a good one.
I know you're the only one that watches.
Yeah, Jill.
She watches it like 22 times.
Our Aunt Jill.
Did they watch it?
Yeah, they said they saw it at the family party.
It's so many. Our only 22 subscribers are family members.
Family and friends, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, we got that one guy that left us that one comment though.
Thanks, one guy.
Also a friend of mine though. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah. Anyway, so we're gonna start out with some news for you guys this week. It's been a pretty busy news week, and then we're gonna go into our topic, which our topic for today is your desert island video game. So if you were stranded on a desert island, which 5 video games, you get a maximum of 5, would you pick to be with you for the rest of your life? That's
no console.
Only 5 games you get. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
The game itself.
5 games. Well, yeah, you can't play the game, but just this is the game.
You get to stare at the disc
and pretend like you're playing it.
All lonely, yep. But that's our topic, and then we're going to go into our death match. And our death match, I think, is going to be a pretty fun one. We are all really big Office fans, but we also all love Parks and Rec. So our death match this week is The Office versus Parks and Rec. Only one can survive. So that'll be an interesting discussion, I think. I think there's going to be... And whatever one loses is erased from existence, though. It's gone forever. It never existed.
Are the actors gone from existence?
So the actors
aren't. That doesn't mean...
The actors aren't, but I was going to bring this up. This is what I was going
to
say
if they're popular
for the podcast. What
like
I was
Chris
thinking
Pratt
about.
didn't get
Chris
a start.
Pratt probably wouldn't be in Guardians of the Galaxy if Parks and Rec didn't exist, because that's how he became famous.
But literally almost everybody else.
But then we never would have gotten A Quiet Place from The Office.
True, yeah.
We wouldn't have gotten a lot.
And
Steve Carell pretty much got his start.
I know, see, that's what I'm talking about.
Virgin,
but there's things you have to take into account.
Despicable Me.
Sure.
Tons of stuff.
I mean, there's lots of things. I know, and there's lots of actors. Jurassic World.
I think it would be more destroying to the culture if Office was...
Let's save it for Deathmatch.
Okay.
We'll save it for Deathmatch at the end of the episode.
But we
thank you guys for joining us today. First piece of news we have is the Disney Plus streaming service. Bob Iger, I believe, announced that the entire Disney motion picture library will at some point be on the service. Disney Plus, I think, was at first I was a little worried about why I'd want to sign up, but if every Disney movie,
that's kind of what I thought it was going to be. I mean,
until
they get Fox, because they don't have Fox acquired
not yet.
They don't have enough movies to start a service.
I mean, they do, but
we thought DC didn't, but they somehow started
made
one
it
up
work.
too.
Yeah,
So,
they've made it work.
but that's just because they made an exclusive show off of it.
Well, and
The
so
Teen
Disney
Titans.
Plus is too with the Mandalorian, and then it sounds like a Loki show and a bunch of cool stuff and movies.
Oh yeah.
So I think it's at this point I'm all in.
But to compete with Netflix, I think like you have to have all your movies on there because Netflix has a lot of content on it.
Well, and especially if Disney isn't going to be licensing other companies' stuff, like they're not going to be paying Paramount to put Paramount movies on Disney Plus. It's going to be only Disney.
You know what I
Plus.
wonder is like the old Hannah Montanas and all that stuff.
That'd be
on
sick.
Ooh.
The old
All
Disney,
the Disney
Channel
TV
shows.
shows, yeah.
Because then
Sweet
we
Life.
could finally get Sweet Life and Wizards Waverly Place and actually watch them and stuff.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. That would entice me even more.
Phineas and Ferb be on there.
Because I know Phineas and Ferb's on Netflix, but can you even?
It is?
Yeah, it is. But where can you even like find stuff like Sweet Life?
You can't.
Like,
You can
honestly,
watch clips on YouTube.
Well, yeah,
but
sure, but I mean like actually watch episodes, like
You have to buy them.
binge it.
Like people
Yeah.
they'll put the whole episode on YouTube and like, get it like taken down.
Anyway,
But speaking of Disney Plus, if you guys are interested more in learning about it, it's our third or fourth episode. We talk about it a lot more in depth. So if you guys are interested in learning about what Disney Plus actually is, go check out that episode. I think it's our third or fourth, right?
we have I think it's our third episode. And
it's in the thumbnail. It's very obvious.
It's a whole
Disney
podcast
Plus.
dedicated to the future of streaming services.
Yeah.
So yeah, check that out for sure. That's a good point there. Good plug.
All right.
Suicide Squad 2 is getting some casting news going and whatnot.
James Gunn.
James Gunn is potentially it sounds like he's for sure writing it, but it's rumored that he might direct it as well. It's not
Well, then
confirmed.
that Idris Elba might replace
But
Will
that's
Smith.
part of the news. Is Idris Elba is in talks to replace Will Smith as Deadshot. Apparently, Will Smith is.
Where do I know him from? He was in something recently.
Idris
he's
Elba's
in
in
a ton of
tons.
stuff.
He's in The
Thor.
Office.
He's
He's
the
the big
Thor, he's the guy with the guns, right?
No, Thor.
Thor-
He's the guard.
the guy who
guard,
sees that holds
master.
the holds the sword.
Oh,
He's got
yeah,
the.
yeah.
He's from The Office. He's the
Office.
guy that comes in and he replaces
Oh.
Jan.
Yeah, the soccer guy. He's obsessed with
yeah.
soccer.
But yeah,
Uh-huh.
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba's awesome.
The guy that wants to kill Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I love Will Smith, but I honestly think Idris Elba might make it better. Deadshot,
Yeah,
even.
because I love Will Smith, and it wasn't my favorite. One of my favorite roles is Will
No.
Smith at all.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I don't think he plays a very convincing Deadshot. I don't know.
Bad guy.
Yeah, bad guy. Will Smith isn't a bad guy.
Will Smith's a hero to me.
Yeah,
like I see
when you
Will
see
Smith,
Will Smith,
he's a good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He did do an okay job as Deadshot, though.
yeah, he did.
Like,
Oh yeah,
oh, yeah,
because he's a
it's
great
kinda
actor.
weird because
yeah.
he was black, and all the Deadshots I've known have been white.
Yeah.
like the one in the
was
Batman
a spin.
series and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
So
Oh, I didn't even think
but-
of that.
yeah.
yeah,
I didn't even. I thought they were black in it.
because you don't
I
have
guess-
a racist mind like me.
Well, also I think Deadshot's usually covered, like his face is usually.
Yeah,
covered,
I think that's
so you
why.
never
I think that's
really
why,
notice.
Yeah, is he on this one?
He
Is
is.
he in
Yeah,
this pack?
he's on the back. Well, he's
Yeah,
on the back.
yeah.
Arkham Origins. Yeah, he has the thing over here, so you can't really tell. But it's interesting because they're going through a bunch of the reported lineup, and some of the characters James Gunn apparently wants, and once again, this isn't confirmed.
Guardians of
but
the Galaxy
is,
are in it.
The Rat Catcher, who I know from the
Oh, from
Arkham
Arkham
games
series.
and stuff like that. Well, he's not actually a character in it, but has bios and stuff. King Shark, the Polka Dot Man.
Wait, was King Shark the one? No, that was White.
I think you're thinking Great White
Great White
Shark or something like that. But
Polka Dot Man.
Polka Dot Man, and then Peacekeeper, which apparently
The
Gun
Peacekeeper.
from Apex.
yeah, apparently I saw something people theorizing that maybe Dave Bautista might play Peacekeeper because he's apparently a bigger character, and Dave Bautista has been on James Gunn's side like this entire time, like right.
He said he would threaten to leave Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see Dave Bautista in Suicide Squad.
Unless he has like some kind of contract says he can't.
That's true. What do you guys think of Suicide Squad 2? Because I wasn't a huge fan of the first one
Not
at all.
I hated it.
I liked
And-
it. Oh, that's fine.
So what are your guys' thoughts about a second one that potentially could be repeated?
But now you look at it though, it's one of the better
What-
DC movies.
Which is sad.
I don't know. If we
some
we'll
of the
have to-
DC movies are just awful.
Like,
We'll have to talk
honestly,
about
the
it.
Batman
only-
vs Superman was awful.
See, I
didn't think it was
disagree.
awful. I didn't think it was awful.
So
I
did
think
everyone else.
they've
Like, all the
slowly
critics
declined.
and-
Not everyone.
It got
but yeah,
really
it got
bad ratings.
It got
No,
really bad ratings, but
It's
not
the
everyone.
DC movies have slowly declined. There's been the couple like Aquaman and Wonder Woman that were decent, but Wonder Woman was amazing. But I haven't seen Aquaman. But like it's declined, and I do admit Batman vs Superman isn't amazing. But
Actually,
I think it's better
I
than
think
the newer one.
DC's gone up. Actually,
I
it
don't
started out. Are you
Justice
kidding
League
me?
was garbage.
Well, yeah, but Wonder Woman, amazing. Aquaman, to me, amazing.
Yeah,
And
but
a lot
those
of
were.
people really like
But
Aquaman.
Wonder Woman was before Justice League. Justice League was
They've already
garbage.
confirmed a second
Justice
one.
League, I think, is the only thing in between Wonder Woman and
But that was so
Aquaman.
bad. It was
Justice
so bad.
League did suck. I agree with you. Justice League sucked.
That shouldn't have sucked, though.
DC
How do you
I
make a
know.
crappy
Because
Justice
they
League
rushed
movie?
crazy.
it. They rushed it.
I know they did because they're trying to keep up with Marvel, but I just
about how
I've
many-
never understood this. How do you mess
that
because
up?
a
I
Justice
agree.
League movie, you have Superman, you have two of the top heroes
Batman.
Here's
that
why.
have ever made.
Batman, arguably the most popular superhero.
Yeah,
of all
Here's
time.
why. Okay, think about the Avengers. They had already established Iron Man and Robert Downey Jr., Captain America, Thor, and all those characters, right? All their universes, all their characters in that universe. With DC, they literally all they had was Batman and Superman, and then they're like, "Here's Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Flash, this person, Cyclops, and Cyborg."
And
It's
Flash is an amazing hero too. Like his backstory,
he's
is
cool
awesome.
in the Justice League.
you have all these amazing characters, and you still manage to somehow make a bad movie.
Yeah,
It-
it was
yeah.
so rushed.
I
Like
was-
me and Connor were laughing because it was like they were trying to put so much story.
Wasn't
into
the
one
first
movie.
like 10 minutes of it just like jamming stuff down your throat?
It was literally like,
honestly don't
here's this
remember.
character's backstory, and then here's this is how they met, and then it's like, oh my gosh.
I honestly don't even remember much from it because, like, I remember I was excited for it because I'm a huge DC fan. I love
I was
Batman.
too.
Oh, yeah,
love
I think
Superman.
all of
And
Any
I went-
superhero movies I'm excited for.
Yeah, and
Especially
me
something
and-
like
me and
Justice
Tanner
League.
went to the midnight showing. We saw it a couple days early, actually,
Because I was working
yeah,
at the
because Tanner was
theater
working
at
at
the
the movie
time.
theater, and we saw Justice League, and it was so disappointing. I couldn't believe it. I was like, how do you? I thought it would at least be enjoyable, but like. Very few parts of it were even enjoyable for me.
Like,
It just felt
usually-
so cringy. And
usually
Didn't they
when a
use-
movie's
what's
bad-
the villain they used? They used
it was Steppenwolf, which is like
other than Steppenwolf. They used someone else though, didn't they?
There was another
was-
Did they use Doomsday? They used Doomsday, right?
Oh yeah, in Batman.
How do you
vs.
use
Superman.
Doomsday? The first, like
because
one of your
they made
first
him
movies?
they made him an idiot giant slug of
He,
a
well,
thing.
he-
Like
he just looks like a
Doomsday is
TNT
one of the
character.
biggest villains in that universe. How do you
Doomsday-
use him and then just
and
like
Doomsday
toss
is
him?
not
When he was
some
only in it for like 10 minutes. too.
Doomsday in the comics is not some stupid brainless monster that just jumps around and shoots lasers. Like he's more fleshed out as a villain.
See, for me, I think it's funny because Suicide Squad, Hasten, you say you enjoyed it.
I enjoyed
it's
it.
one of your probably one of your higher DC ones, right? Out of
compared-
the DC lineup, there is so far.
I would
movies.
probably watch it third. Probably third.
What would be
compared
your
to-
first?
Behind,
Wonder Woman,
Aquaman and
Aquaman.
Wonder Woman are really close. 'Cause
Okay.
I, like
See,
they
for
both
me,
have different positives, and then probably Suicide Squad, and then probably like the other trash. that
I
they
think
made.
Suicide Squad is literally the bottom of my list.
Yeah, for me too.
I think number one for me is Aquaman. Then it's
I just really like looking at Harley Quinn.
And Cara
And
Delevingne.
I think the Joker does a really good job
Cara
too.
Delevingne-
That's
He
an
does.
awesome.
So he's
That's an
like-
awesome. And the fact that they didn't continue on with that Joker, like he was playing a different Joker we've never.
well,
seen
there's
before.
rumors that he still will be back for Suicide Squad 2 and more, but there is the Joker spin-off. they're
Yeah.
doing with
Joker
Joaquin
was the good part of that movie, in my opinion.
And Harley
Like
Quinn.
out of even her though, because like sure she's hot,
That's
but
what
she
I need
wasn't
from
great.
her.
Like
She-
as
yeah,
Harley
her
Quinn,
performance
I don't
wasn't
know how
amazing.
I like Margot Robbie.
I will,
as Harley
well, I
Quinn.
will say this. I think Margot Robbie looks like the
Casting
perfect
Oh,
wise.
she
Harley
looks
Quinn.
just like her.
Perfect Harley
Oh,
Quinn.
yeah.
Her performance was a little weird though because she tried a little too hard with the
To
Boston
be in like a
accent.
Boston, like, oh,
Yeah.
what's going on,
It was-
Batman? It's
It
like,
was a little too much.
yeah, it was like
'cause
I didn't
Harley
want to
Quinn-
hear her talk anymore
Like the Harley Quinn I know doesn't talk
because
that
Harley
much in the
Quinn
Boston
is
accent.
annoying, but not like that where you're like, oh, like,
Yeah.
please.
Just stop. Yeah.
I was never.
It's more like annoying where you want to kill her. Like, no, but like I said, Joker was great. I did like the difference of all the different Jokers. Most Jokers are usually the same, but that was so different. He was more gangster.
Yeah.
you
It was
know,
a cool. It was a
short
unique
hair.
taste.
Yeah, way unique.
I'll say this. I think Batman vs Superman to me, I think it's a bad rap. I think at the time
It's underrated,
I
yeah.
think yes, it has tons of problems. Don't get me wrong. Like Martha, that was one of the worst things I've ever
And
seen in
then
my life.
there's a
But-
specific 10-minute period where they shove story into your face with all the superheroes. Remember, like where you get the files.
But like I tell you what, the music of that movie is awesome. I think it's one of the cooler like versus movies. Like all the moments where Batman and Superman are like walking up to each other, and it's like
We didn't even,
it's really
like,
cool.
really
Lex
fight,
Luthor,
though.
I actually really
They
like.
did though. They had
They
some
did, but,
serious
like-
fight scenes.
like there was at no point where Superman was really in danger.
Oh, of course not.
Well, besides when he had the freaking kryptonite spear against his.
And then there was the stupid Martha scene.
Yeah, which of
no,
course.
of course. And I mean, I don't think of Batman versus Superman as a Batman versus Superman movie. To me, it's Batman and Superman teaming up and Wonder Woman to fight Lex Luthor and Doomsday.
At the
That's
time
cool.
of that release, that
Which,
was supposed
Lex
to be
Luthor
Batman
was
versus
awesome.
Superman.
I love. A lot of people don't like Jesse Eisenberg's Luthor.
I
Lex
thought he
Luthor,
was
but I thought he's
dope.
cool, and his music, Hans Zimmer's theme he has with him is
Oh
like
my
this creepy
gosh, like
violin, like ding, ding. It's like just crazy, which is awesome.
Yeah, and then like the scene where he's staring at the poster with the angels and demons, and he's like,
Oh, speaking of which, the best part of Justice League, spoiler alert if you haven't seen Justice League, I guess, but at the very end, the end credits, they have Deathstroke come out, which is awesome.
It's
it
the
sucks,
Deathstroke
though.
that looks just like the one
The
from
Arkham
freaking
one.
Arkham. Yeah.
It just sucks that it's like, oh, why did they
Because
have
doesn't
to
he get
script
on the
this movie so
boat
bad,
and
though?
Jesse Eisenberg's
Is there as Lex Luthor,
and
yeah.
there's all the villains and they're like gathering together. Or something.
I think
It's
so.
like a
From what I
League
remember.
of Villains.
Like almost like I think, what is the a Suicide Squad? Well,
no.
we've
There's
already done Suicide Squad.
there's a specific like
Well,
League
there's
of
in Marvel. There's the Sinister Six. It's not that, but I swear, yeah,
Like the League of something.
Legion of Doom. Is that it?
something
Something like
because
that.
not Doomsday but Darkseid is in charge of it.
I wouldn't know for sure. But
Darkseid's the Thanos of.
Gosh, we can talk about Suicide Squad.
I know.
Let's
Should
move
we,
on
should
to
we
the
just
next
name our top 3, like our top heroes from Marvel and DC real quick?
Well, that's good.
I kind of want to do that. Like, who's
for
your favorite
45
DC
minutes.
character? And
Let's
then
do
who's your
that.
favorite Marvel?
Let's do that next topic, next episode. Because we'll
Let's
talk.
just real quick.
We'll talk
round
about
table.
that for
We're already
45
into
minutes.
it, though.
Yeah,
Round table, real
we'll talk
quick.
about it for 45
Maybe we
minutes.
can kick out the thing.
I think
at the
our
end.
other things are gonna go really quick though. Real quick.
I don't
Just
know.
Topic around.
What's
here.
our
That's
What were
something
we
that we
gonna
can
talk
actually
about?
put as the headline on
But-
our next like thumbnail though, like top 3.
But what were we gonna talk? What was our original topic?
Our topic is the Desert Island Games.
Oh, I
we
mean that would
already
take
have
like
that.
45 minutes though.
Well, how about this? We'll come back to it if we have time. I think you guys
Okay.
are gonna be surprised. We've talked about.
Okay.
We're already 20 minutes in. We've only talked about
Okay.
freaking DC.
one news topic?
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to the next one.
Yeah, how did we get so wrapped into DC, dude?
Because superheroes is our thing.
what
man.
were we talking about?
We were talking about Suicide Squad too.
Oh, that's
All
right.
the news
Okay,
for it. Yep.
but I'll give my opinion. I'm not too excited. I'm gonna sleep on it. I'm gonna let it pass and see what happens when it comes to either disc or on the streaming site because I'm not gonna go to theaters and pay money and then be disappointed once
I am.
again.
I
Like for
will.
me, I remember we got out of Suicide Squad and I was like, I could have not seen that and not really cared because for me, I saw the movie in the trailers. Like all the trailers pretty much
Speaking of
showed
which,
the entire
the
movie.
trailers for Suicide Squad were awesome.
They were
They were
awesome.
really cool.
They really portrayed.
I don't
the
know
movie.
how they had such cool trailers and then the movie was like.
It's because the
what?
trailers were the movie.
Yeah.
The whole movie was all the trailers. Like all the stuff that they didn't show in the trailers sucked. It was like a pointless story of like this black girl who's getting them all together.
Oh, Amanda Waller.
Yeah,
She's
and it was-
cool.
She is
actually.
cool, but I don't know. I didn't need to know about her.
Yeah. Well, and Amanda Waller.
The worst part of it was spoilers for Suicide Squad. Though when they announced the guy, the grappling guy,
And then they kill
and
him.
then they kill him
Immediately.
That
that
was
was
actually
No,
funny.
don't they shoot him out like as he's grappling?
Yeah, no, his head blows up because they have the microchips.
Yeah,
in
they
his
had-
head.
Oh my God.
He's
that
like
was
he like
funny.
grapples away and just like boom, and he's dead.
Yeah, that was actually funny.
Like,
I
he can grapple anything.
I think the worst part of Suicide Squad is freaking
What's his
the
bucket?
captain guy. No,
yeah,
there's-
the guy who's in
RoboCop.
World War II.
He is annoying.
Well, he's talking.
the
There's one
classic
point-
freaking army.
And people,
dude.
I'm not the first one to make fun of this. People make fun of this all the time. But there's this scene where he's freaking talking to the ninja girl, and he's like, "Stay away from her sword. If you get cut by it, it will steal your soul or something and lock your soul in her sword." And it's just like, what? Like,
Okay.
why did we need to know that?
Why?
And then because there was no payoff, they never actually showed that happen.
It's like him being like, "Don't jump out of this plane early, otherwise you'll be
Otherwise
lost
you'll
in the
die."
wilderness."
Don't jump out of this helicopter.
Thanks for telling us, bro.
Don't jump out of this helicopter, otherwise you'll die. And then nobody
Cool.
jumps out of the helicopter. It was just like, what the freak? Why'd he say that?
and X-Force really needed them to.
Well, I
Yeah.
really didn't like the pointless connections they had where the army dude was related to Cara Delevingne, who was eventually the bad guy, and then all of a sudden was the some like they tried to connect things too much. Like somehow they all knew each other from the past and stuff. Just make it Suicide Squad. They're all from different parts of different cities. They're all the villains brought together to kill. If they would have made it more how it's supposed to be, where they're all like these scary big time villains, because they made them all seem like freaking.
They made him goofy.
Yeah,
They made him
like
goofy.
like little bees. Like especially like they wouldn't let them use their powers or whatever or use their skills.
I can't remember. It came out after Guardians of the Galaxy, right? I think it came out a year later or something.
The
like
first
that.
one,
First
Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, it came out after first Guardians. Yeah.
So what I think is, I almost wonder if DC saw the success of Guardians of the Galaxy and how goofy and weird it
And they
was,
wanted that.
and they were like, "Man, maybe we should do that for Suicide
Where you
Squad."
get a bunch of misfits.
yeah,
together.
misfits together.
Wasn't
and
Suicide
then-
Squad DC's first? Or no, Man
No,
of
the
Steel.
new
was.
year.
Man of Steel was, and Batman.
and then
vs.
Batman
Superman.
and then Suicide Squad.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway, we'll move on to our next topic. We can talk about freaking DC and all that all day. I'm in the same boat as you, though, by the way. I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm definitely going to see it, like 100%.
Oh,
I'll
yeah,
see
I'm still gonna see
I'll
it,
see
but
any movie.
I don't know
in
if I'm
theater.
gonna be.
I'll see it in
I'm not
theaters,
gonna
too.
be like jumping on to go see it immediately.
People are like, I don't want to go see it in theaters, but like,
That's the best place to see it.
yeah, it's the best place to see it, and it's the cheapest place to see it. If you're gonna buy a disc,
That's
it's
true.
gonna be $20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good
Or you
point.
could rent it to watch it on a 40-inch TV for, $6.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, it's still going to cost you money, so might as well just see it in theater.
Yeah.
And especially for a superhero movie. That's the best.
Especially for like a
best place to
$5
experience
Tuesday
it.
that we have here. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's like almost taken over
unanimous,
the country
yeah.
now, too. Yeah.
I mean, I know AMC has their $5 club or whatever.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we only have one here in the Valley. Well, I guess we have two, but one's in Provo. Anyway.
2 AMCs.
Yeah, like
We
in
just
Salt
got
Lake,
one too, like recently.
Yeah, they're
I don't know how.
huge everywhere else.
It's because it's Megaplex.
It's because Megaplex dominates. Oh
in,
my gosh.
in Utah, which I love Megaplex. But speaking of Disney, going back to Disney Plus stuff, I should have brought this up after. Maleficent 2 has gotten a release date.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Mistress of Evil, and it comes out this October, so soon. I that's crazy. I honestly knew this was in
forgot
development
about
in the back of my
Maleficent.
mind, but I totally forgot about it.
I totally forgot about Maleficent.
I did too.
Like as a Disney movie.
Mm-hmm.
Also in other Disney news,
And why is
we
Disney
got
doing so many sequels?
I know it's unlike them.
Maleficent, Frozen. Yeah, like they usually
Just do one and done, and then the sequels go to straight to DVD,
I think they're trying out something a little different, especially with
like ongoing stories.
live action ones now. Well, I mean, I guess we'll see. Maleficent's one of those ones though that it's not based on one of the cartoons because it's not based on Sleeping Beauty. It is, but it's not.
It's
same
like a
story.
yeah.
It's from the villain's perspective, so they can
Isn't
kind of do
it?
their own
I think
thing.
it's from the true because you know how Disney Disneyfies their movies. It's from like the true.
Yeah, I don't
version of
know.
Sleeping Beauty.
I don't know how that works, but I know that like spoilers for the first Maleficent. If I'm not mistaken, I think Maleficent at the end like befriends Sleeping Beauty.
She does, remember?
Like Aurora.
And then they
Which is
they
what the
all
heck?
live in the place together.
Yeah, so like, what is this one going to be about then?
Who knows?
I have no idea what this movie.
I will be honest. I actually really enjoyed the first Maleficent. I thought it was pretty good.
I haven't seen it.
I don't remember anything.
Remember, because she falls in love with the king, and then he betrays her. To get her
Spoiler
wings.
alert.
Yeah, gosh.
Yeah, spoiler alert. He betrays her to get her wings, and then she cuts him off, and then it's like this huge. It's actually really sad.
I honestly don't remember anything from it.
But in other Disney news, we got a trailer for Star Wars Land in Disney.
Oh, was
and
there a
the release
trailer?
date,
I know
too.
the release date.
Did you see how
yeah.
sick it was?
Which-
I thought it was the
Which
trailer.
one is that? Is that later this
May
year?
31st for Disneyland.
Dude, I straight
and
up thought it was
then-
the trailer for Episode 9. I was like,
Really?
and then it was like Disneyland. I'm like, oh.
And then August, like 3rd or something for Disney,
Disney
World.
World.
I hope we go in October.
Oh,
my
dude, I
gosh,
can't
dude.
wait.
That'd be awesome. Because then it will give it like a 5-month break. You know,
So
it
people
won't
will
be
die
too
down,
Crazy.
yeah.
I'm so pumped though. That's so exciting.
Dude, it looks freaking sick. Like, you gotta watch the trailer when you get a chance.
Yeah, I'm pumped for that. We'll stay on Disney news for a second then. Oh, wait, no, just kidding. Never mind. Next piece of news is Arrow, the DC comic book show based on Green Arrow, is finally coming to an end with season 8. It's not like, I don't think they're officially calling it canceled, but they're ending it. They said they're just ending it. I think from what it sounds like, it's more of a mutual thing. Like they think this is where the story should end. But I don't know. Maybe it was...
They probably would have wanted to go longer, but they...
Maybe, yeah. It might have been dropping in views and stuff like that, so they canceled it. But that's kind of a big deal. It's kind of the end of an era. It's the first CW DC show to get canceled. It was the first one to start, and now it's getting canceled.
Holy cow.
Or ending. So
Crazy. Wait, so like Flash and all those are still going on?
they're still going. Arrow started
Flash.
in 2012.
They have Gotham too, don't they?
That's Fox. And
Fox.
that actually is on its final season, too. From what I
Dang, that
remember.
one's newer, too.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I remember I loved Arrow when it first started. The first 3 seasons, I watched the first 3 seasons, and then I never watched anymore because it became such a Monster of the Week show. But I really liked the first 3 seasons, especially with Deathstroke. When they had Deathstroke on there, it was awesome.
I've literally never seen an episode of any of the DC TV shows.
Really?
Or the Marvel TV shows, for that fact.
Wow. What do you think about it, Hasten? I know you watched a bit of Arrow back in the day.
I used to really like Arrow.
You guys watched it together, almost.
I don't know. I really liked Arrow. I don't watch it anymore. If like all of it gets released, I'll probably watch it all. But I like the Flash more.
What do you think of the possibility that CW might axe the rest of their lineup? I mean, maybe not anytime soon, but within the next few years.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I mean, I think DC will take it over because they got their own streaming service now.
That's a good point. Yeah, I wonder if that's maybe part of it.
Did
Because
CW own some of DC or something? Or
I think they
just
have the
leased it
rights to
them?
the
they have the
show.
rights to the TV shows for the.
I wonder
live
why.
action
Did they
ones.
sell them off?
Oh yeah, it was probably just a partnering deal. I mean, Disney did it with Netflix. You know, for
That's
all
true.
Their stuff.
Yeah.
It's not uncommon, but
Maybe it's ending. That's why they have to Axum.
Yeah,
So
it might be because
which
they
ones
want
do
stuff from
CW
Disney.
even have? They have Arrow.
So it's crazy. They started out with Arrow, then I think it
Supergirl.
was Flash. Yeah, Supergirl was on Fox, and then they bought it and brought it to CW, and then Legends of Tomorrow.
They did a mix with all three of them.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's
They have
cool.
the crossover episodes, and then I think they're developing one called Black Lightning right now too. So
Oh no. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I think it is Black Lightning.
yeah, and then also Batwoman. They're also doing literally.
Batwoman?
There's 6 freaking.
Isn't it Batgirl?
No, there's Batgirl and then there's Batwoman.
Who the frick is Batwoman?
Batgirl is Barbara Gordon.
Yeah, but who's Batwoman?
Batwoman is.
I've never even heard of Batwoman.
Batwoman.
Yeah, it's Batman, but Batwoman.
Is it like an
It's-
alternate universe?
I don't know, but
Because is
Ruby
Supergirl
Rose,
an alternate universe, or is it?
Ruby
the same?
Rose. I used to have such a big crush on her in high
Yeah.
school. She was hot.
Ruby Rose, yeah,
Love
she's
you.
playing Batwoman. She's in John Wick. I don't know if
She's in
you
Orange is the New Black. She's one of
Is
the.
she?
She's the hot chick that was like
The main
had
girl.
really short hair. No.
She's not the main girl, no.
Frick.
But Ruby Rose is playing her. I think
Yeah,
she's
I
perfect casting for
I've
Batwoman.
probably seen her before.
Next piece of news. This one gets me really excited because it's like the first real piece of news, like confirmed news we have about it. But Amazon's Lord of the Rings series confirms it's going to be set during the Second Age, which
Before-
is
an epic high fantasy novel.
Alexa, shut
up, Amazon.
I've never seen her before.
Amazon, shut up.
Story began.
Hey,
how did you guys said its name?
Because you said Amazon, the new Amazon show.
Oh, did I really?
Yeah, you're like Amazon's
Oh,
new Lord of the
yeah.
Rings show.
Oh my gosh!
Don't stop.
Stop. That's enough.
Okay.
Anyway,
I saw it light up. Like,
it's like what?
not gonna be.
you talking to me?
You want information about Lord of the Rings?
It's like the person that
So-
never gets attention. And
The Amazon Lord of the Rings series. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Anyway, it's set during the Second Age, which is before the events of the Lord of the Rings. So basically,
be
to
awesome.
give people an idea, the timeline for the Second Age, the end of the Second Age is the very start of on Peter Jackson's the first Lord of the Rings movie, Fellowship. At the very beginning, there's this big battle between Elrond
Yeah.
with the elves and man, and facing off against
is it
Sauron.
during that period?
That's the very end of the Second Age.
Oh, wow.
That's the final
so
war
it's
of the Second Age.
early. So nobody's gonna be alive. That's in the series.
I mean, unless it's like Elrond.
well,
Elrond could be.
besides the
elves.
immortals.
Yeah.
But yeah, because we might even see potentially Sauron
Oh yeah.
as a human,
yeah, which should be
as a
cool.
man.
Yeah, it sounds really awesome. From reading a quick little excerpt from.
Or as an elf. I mean, that's
Does it have a release date or rumored release?
I don't think so.
I
They've been
wish,
working on it
dude.
forever. Didn't they say it's like a huge, like a something?
It's going to be the
$1 billion?
most
500 million.
expensive
Oh my gosh.
TV show ever.
I hope
It's
it lives
got
up.
it's got like Avengers Infinity War money in it.
It's not.
How do you think it's gonna do against Game of Thrones?
Well, Game of Thrones is going to be ending.
Yeah, and Game of Thrones ends. It'll be done. In,
I mean, but like compared, do you think people
We'll
will
see.
compare?
I
it?
I
no
don't know if
idea.
it's a real comparison though, because Game of Thrones is its own thing, and so Lord of the Rings is its own thing.
And one thing I honestly think, I think this is going to be a big success for Amazon because, oh frick, she's going to hear it. No, okay, she did. But I think it's going to be a big success for them.
Freak.
I think it's going to be a big success because Game of Thrones, it's going to be coming at the perfect time because Game of Thrones ends this year. It's rumored to premiere next year, 2020.
That's gonna be
So
awesome.
all the Game of Thrones fans that are missing out and sad that Game of Thrones is over, they're gonna have Lord of the Rings show to
Dude,
look forward to.
imagine if they're gonna. Okay, I hope they do a Stranger Things thing with the longer
Oh
episodes.
no, please.
No,
oh,
I'm-
longer episodes. Okay, it's like I hate that show.
I don't know how you hate.
You don't like
Stranger
Stranger Things?
So, yeah, I hate
What?
weird.
It's awesome.
How do you hate it?
I hate
That's
it.
impossible.
How?
It's just so cringeworthy. Like, it's
Cringe?
awful.
How is it is the most uncringe
That is
show
insane.
ever?
That is insane.
No, because Stranger Things is amazing.
Get off. Leave.
No,
Go.
but anyway, I'm hoping they do that escorts.
How have you not seen Game of? Shut up.
I know. Hey, no, I'm not against it. I want to watch it. I just haven't gotten to it. I don't think like Game of Thrones is
or
bad.
cringe?
Yeah.
no.
I want to watch Game of Thrones. I just haven't.
I
Gotten
think
to
you
it.
need to give Stranger Things another chance.
That's crazy.
That's
I've
crazy.
watched the full first season and I did not like it.
Watch the second season.
I don't know
If
how.
I didn't like the first one, the second one's the same thing.
I think the second
Not
one's
always.
better.
Not always.
I
'cause-
think
Is it though?
Speaking of which,
It is.
I personally think it is.
well,
So I think season 2 is better.
I think they're both good, but that's not always that's not always the case though. Because look at Parks and Rec. The first season of Parks and Rec, people hate
I don't
it.
like.
Those are kind of weird because
That's why I didn't get into the show for the
They're
longest
trying
time.
to develop characters. They're
I
trying
know,
to
but that's why I didn't get into the show.
like
for a
in
long time.
Office, Kevin's not as dumb as he is in
Yeah.
the next couple.
That's
seasons.
what I'm
for
saying.
me-
and so you got to take that into account.
Perfect
Stranger Things,
example
the same
for
thing.
me. Literally, I remember telling you guys the first time I watched Parks and Rec. Literally, I was like, I hate it. It's so stupid. Because I watched the first
like,
season,
you're crazy.
and then I was like, no, it's dumb.
Real fast, what do you find cringeworthy
what's-
about it?
The kids talking drives me nuts. And I know what you're about to say. You're like, oh, they're teenagers. No,
they're older.
They're older now though. That's what
They
I'm saying.
literally are almost like
That-
3 years
in
older. In the
season
next
2,
episode.
they're literally like 3 years older because it took 3 years, and then season
They're
3 they're
less
gonna be like 3 years older.
kid
than
annoying.
Yeah,
More like
they're only getting older, and so that's one thing. Like if you,
I don't like the story either.
But why do you
The
think
story's
people
awesome.
like it so much?
I don't.
give it a
I don't.
chance.
It's fine.
I'm
If he doesn't
surprised
like it, it's
people
fine.
don't. I'm surprised. I'm sorry. I'm not surprised people like it. But a big part of their core group are these kids that are watching this. You know,
One
I don't
thing
think
I
kids
think
are-
Stranger Things does really well actually is there's the kids, there's the teenagers, and there's the adults. There's 3 storylines going on all at once, so there's something for
they have
everyone.
cool characters.
And here's
It's
the
not.
thing.
I don't like it.
It's
like,
Goonies-esque.
It's Goonies,
It's
yeah.
so like
I
have you
didn't
ever seen
like
the
Goonies either.
That might be why.
You.
Because it also
Like, I thought Goonies was
it
kind of
also-
stupid. Like there's funny parts, but it was like
stupid.
Oh my
stupid
God.
comedy.
Dude, what?
Hason's coming with
Goonies
some
is
hot
hilarious.
takes today. Holy,
You're gonna get
What are you gonna
roasted.
say next?
I'm gonna get roasted by the 0 people that watch.
I don't
this.
care. No, even the people that
gonna
watch
roast
it and
you.
don't comment, they'll be like, "This is little." I'm never watching
We're
them
roasting
again.
you. That's crazy. Hazen with some hot takes today. That's
my
fine.
gosh.
Not everyone has to like everything. I'm totally fine with
That's crazy, though. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I personally think it's
To
crazy,
each
but
their
that's
own,
fine.
I guess.
Yeah, to each their own. It's totally cool. That's what this. That's once again. That's
I
what you're
hate.
gonna
I
get.
hate Lord of the Rings.
Not.
All right.
That's it.
Yeah.
Star Wars sucks.
But once again, that's what's great about this podcast. We used to pimp this out a bit more. Is that we all love entertainment. We all love entertainment, but we all have our
We're
own
all
opinions.
passionate about it. We
Yeah.
all want to defend it to the
death.
heart.
Yeah.
Like,
But that's what's great is we all have disagreements. We all have things
all
we
think
agree on. We all
differently.
think differently. It's totally fine. If Hazen doesn't like it, at least it brings different conversations to the table instead
I
of.
wish I was a better arguer too, so I can argue my points.
I think you're pretty. I think you're
suck
better than you
balls
think.
at
I think you're better
arguing.
than you think. You bring up plenty good points.
They're not good points to me.
Not
but-
for Stranger Things. No, Stranger Things that suck. No.
No, but
um,
otherwise, yeah.
Anyway, so back to the Lord of the Rings. I hope they do a Stranger Things-esque with the longer episodes. Because imagine if they got Hans Zimmer to do the soundtrack. That'd be freaking...
Hans Zimmer?
Or not Hans Zimmer.
Howard
Howard Shore. Imagine if they got
Oh,
Howard Shore.
they could
my
have worse
gosh.
music than they already had. No, I'm just kidding.
No, that would
Now
be
Hazen's just
sick.
gonna
Hashtag trigger the two.
One of the biggest things of the Hobbits and the Lord of the Rings is their music. What defines the movies, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, imagine the Lord of the Rings movies with like Game of Thrones music. It wouldn't be the same feeling.
It's a good point. Is I really hope. I don't think they'll get Howard Shore.
I doubt it
Because
I hope
mostly because I think they're not
reciprocate.
going to want it to be exactly the same as Peter Jackson's stuff.
Right.
But man, that would be so perfect because you're right. The
I hope they
music
can get
for
the
Lord of
same
Rings
feeling.
brings so much emotion to it. Like I hear some of the music and it makes me like feel like this epicness. You're just like the it's so pretty, like Gandalf coming with the freaking staff and holding it up to the light to the dragons.
Yeah.
And it like brings tears to my eyes, dude.
Dude, the music is like it's one of those movies.
Oh, and
where,
Game of Thrones. I thought you were talking about Stranger Things. I was like,
No, I was saying Game of Thrones. Yeah, like I
not
feel
Game
like
of Thrones, Lord of the Rings. Sorry.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
I feel like a lot of movies, and not just movies, for games for that fact. We need to have a whole podcast about music in movies and
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
like that because it defines the
I'm gonna
game.
miss that episode.
Because like I remember even something like Destiny that I play. If I play it without the music, it's a totally different experience, right? If I'm muting it and I'm listening to it, I'm kind of just like, it's not as epic. But I one time they just put on your earphones and you plug it in, and it's like, dun 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 dun, and it's like freaking sick and it's epic and it gives you like a certain sense of the game. Like it tells you what it is and yeah, they need to reciprocate that somehow.
Yeah, I
with the
really hope they get.
Yeah.
If it's not Howard Shore, I hope they get a composer who knows the
John
right
Williams.
thing. That'd be amazing. Honestly, like they just need somebody who can develop amazing themes. Because one thing about Lord of the Rings, it has some of the best themes of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I really hope they just get somebody who knows that genre, like fantasy, well, and
I know.
and do that. But I'm
excited,
pumped for it.
yeah.
I'm excited to see like casting news and like trailers and stuff. I want to actually see what it's going to look like. Because I wonder how different it's going to look from
I
Peter
really
Jackson
hope
stuff.
it's good. I
Same.
don't want to be
It
disappointed.
worries me because
Worries me
Netflix hasn't. I mean, Amazon hasn't done a good show yet.
Yeah,
so.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm really. It's kind of upsetting.
But
cautiously
they're going
optimistic.
to eventually.
At some
I mean,
point. They got the money.
they got the money to throw at it.
I mean, they have the freaking richest man as their owner.
yeah, they're gonna get something.
You'd hope so, yeah. I'm with
And their
you.
streaming services up there competing with like Hulu and like all these big ones. They gotta get something.
And
They have
I
these ones called like
prefer-
The Tick. It's trash and like
Yeah.
all these crappy
Oh, The
ones.
Tick, yeah. Isn't it Marvel though?
No.
No, I think it's just a fake superhero they made.
I prefer Amazon Prime over Hulu. Granted, I haven't used Hulu a ton, but like from the original shows anyway. Or not original shows. Actually,
Hulu has a lot of stuff I like. They have Family Guy. They have Rick and Morty. They have
Hulu has a lot.
yeah.
I like
offer.
Amazon Prime streaming because they have a lot of great movies.
And Hulu's doing something that no other streaming service is doing, and they're offering sports.
yeah.
A lot of sports stuff.
Hulu, not
and
only
live
that,
TV.
Hulu has so much selection as far as movies. Like, I'll be like, oh, I want to watch this, and it's not on Netflix, and I'm like, oh, Gravity's on freaking Hulu.
Dude, why the frick does Hulu still offer a service though? What are you looking up for?
Oh, I'm not
You're
sorry.
like looking up like
You're doing like what Jim did to Dwight
frick,
one time.
Like, is there something
Meet
on
my
head?
eye level, Jim.
My eye level Jim. That's funny.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But why does Hulu still offer?
I should do that more often with you. Good job.
Why do they offer an episode that or a version that still has ads? It's like the dumbest thing.
They offer that you can pay for one that has ads.
I'm not gonna fall for it. Yeah, like you can buy. I think for $8 a month, you can watch Hulu, but everything you watch has ads.
Why
That
pay
would
for it?
Suck. That would suck so
That's
much.
way dumb. How much
Like
more
watching YouTube. Like I'm starting to get sick of watching ads on
Oh
YouTube.
my gosh, dude.
I respect it if it's a creator I enjoy because that's what gets them money.
Yeah, but at the
Not
same
really,
time,
not anymore.
and also though,
Like,
Yeah.
their money's coming from donations and like
And merchandise.
and all this stuff. They're not making money off
Granted,
of
though,
YouTube
I mean,
as much.
you'd still be surprised because YouTubers complain all the time about demonetization and stuff, but it's not as big of a problem as they seem because they still get ads, just less.
They get a lot less.
A lot less, but
And
it's
they get
still
these crappy ones,
ads.
like they'll get like Mountain America Credit Union. Or
I do
something.
get super
And-
annoyed. Go ahead.
And like, imagine us. Like, if say we ever do get monetized and we start making money, we're talking one day. I say penis in one of our videos, and suddenly we're demonetized. We make nothing.
You just said it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, our first 50 episodes are just going to go down. So every
Yeah.
views that we have are just going to be nothing.
I
We're
mean,
not going to
yeah.
get anything off of that.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't know.
I get super annoyed. One thing I will say is I get super annoyed when there's a video from somebody who I watch where there's literally like 10 ads.
Oh, they have the ad rolls
And
in the
it's,
middle.
it's like, how many ads can you stuff into this thing? Like, goodness gracious, please. I get it. I know you get revenue and stuff like that from this, but like,
Granted,
there's
though,
so
like
many.
you can get ad blocker for like $10. I think it's like a year, like a yearly subscription is like $10.
Or you can just get YouTube Red.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
YouTube Red's like more of the subscription.
But once again,
base.
then you're paying money
So
for
is-
it. You know.
But no, but ad blocker's like a yearly annual thing.
Either way, that's still money that you would have to pay for something that is
But
just an
I mean,
inconvenience.
I don't know, because like there's something I don't have much against ads. I don't like this unskippable ads. Those are the worst because there's like
If
the
they're
15
unskippable,
long,
they're like 15 seconds
Yeah,
long,
they're pretty
so.
fast.
but the 15 seconds compared to 5, it's a big difference.
But I have
if you
to
want to
click
get
it.
to your video.
Yeah, but then you have to click it.
Sometimes I'll be like playing games and suddenly I just realize I'm listening to a Geico ad that's a minute and 30 seconds
I
long.
listened. I've noticed that all the time. Or I'll be just like sitting there and I have it playing while I'm like cleaning or
That's
something.
such a relatable
Let's be
thing.
listening to your Geico
Or it's
ad.
like, you want to save money on your bank account today? Save 15 seconds or more.
Save 15
15
cards.
minutes
No, there's
or
the
more.
stupid Discover card one that always plays where it's like the Asian chicken. She's like, I saved money? Well, let loose. Go crazy. Woo! I'm going crazy. I hate it.
What?
It plays all the freaking time. When you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about.
But that's so funny. That's such a relatable thing because there's so many times where I just have like something playing on YouTube, like a podcast or whatever,
You're just-
and then all of a sudden, like I'm just not even paying attention. It's a 5-minute ad in the middle of the video, and I'm like, all of a sudden it clicks 4 minutes into the ad. I'm like, what the frick? Like, have I been listening to a 5-minute ad?
Do all of us listen to something while we play?
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah, you should.
I
It
almost,
depends on what I'm playing.
I almost can't. The only game I usually don't is Fortnite because I have to concentrate.
The games I didn't are story driven. So like
Yeah,
God of
me
War
too.
I didn't, Spider-Man
Oh, yeah.
I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
If I'm playing a game that's mindless like Rocket League, then yeah.
Right. Don't get me wrong. Like with Destiny, if there's stuff I haven't heard or like new cutscenes or new content, of course I won't. I'll like pause it and then listen. But if I'm just like mindlessly playing and there's no story being accounted for and I'm just like shooting and killing, and then yeah, I'm gonna just.
My brain hurts after I finish playing for a while because like if I'm playing like Apex and
Yeah.
I also have a podcast, I'll have the podcast sitting right here with my headphones half on.
Wait, you
and
listen
my
to-
ears are like ah! Like one game's trying to focus on the ear. Or
See,
one
yeah.
ear's trying to focus on the game, the other one's listening to the podcast. And
Yeah, for me, I can't ever listen to podcasts when I'm actually trying like a battle royale or like a competitive game because then I just get too distracted by the video. Like I'll find myself like looking down for 2 seconds, then I'm dead. I'm like, fuck.
I have to though, otherwise I get bored of the game because I'm like, this is okay.
Yeah.
If
So,
it's
like
repetitive.
I
Like
have
Call of
noticed
Duty,
that.
when I play multiplayer, I don't listen all the time.
Yeah.
Like if we suddenly go competitive, I'm gonna
Exactly. See, that's how I am
Throw
for
on
me.
both
Like,
feet.
Otherwise, you
Ears.
have to listen to Torque every single time. Be like, Torque reporting in.
Tark reported in.
I know.
What's the one when he places the thing down? He's like,
This'll neck or
this'll
something.
neck or someone's dead.
You
yeah.
always hear the same thing. Like you hear your teammates too, and it's just like, oh my god.
It's like Activision. You couldn't
No.
afford a few more lines. Like 6
Specifically-
more lines.
Specifically Torque though, because like
He does
everybody
it
else
every
is,
time he
it's
drops
like
it.
you don't even notice, but Torque's is so loud and like Irish. This'll neck or someone's dick.
Well, it's funny too because it's like, yeah, I'm with you. It's like, how did they not just record 5 more lines, like for him or something?
Like literally pay him like a couple more.
Or even if it's not him, just some random guy comes in, like
Some Irish guy,
the
yeah.
game creator or the director or whatever comes in, he's just like,
Placing
Torque
trap.
reporting in. Sounds nothing like him.
Torque reporting in.
Placing trap or something. Like
He's like he like tries to do
Placing
an accent.
trap.
He's like Torque reporting in.
yeah, it's like the really cool voice actors and voice actor, and then also known as like trap placed, mate. Like, what?
That's
And
what
then
the
he's like
best
Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms me dead.
You're like, what the heck?
But it's so
Chicks are for kids.
annoying.
You should actually. There's a funny meme about Destiny 2 because for Destiny 2, it's Nathan Fillion that plays Cade 6, but then in Forsaken they got a different actor.
Yeah.
But they used some of Nathan Fillion's lines in Forsaken.
Oh, so
like you'll be
switches.
playing and like you don't notice because they're very similar. But there was one specific one where he's literally like, "Ghost, right over here." And then you go do that thing, and he comes back, and he says the same thing, but it's like, "Ghost, go over there!" You're like, "What the?"
What is up with Destiny and like changing
Voice actors, I
Like
know.
Peter Dinklage.
I
too.
think it's because, especially when they're doing the lower budget stuff, because
Yeah.
Forsaken's a DLC.
Well, I think it's
know what I mean?
also
Because they charge $60 for.
Well, 40.
40,
full
sorry.
price.
Yeah, but like, I think so they don't want to go like, "Oh, Nathan Fillion."
Yeah, they'd have to pay a lot
Yeah,
more
yeah.
for him. Yeah,
Um,
makes sense.
So,
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It's like once in a while, it's like how can you not just record more lines for that
Yeah.
person? Anyway,
how did we
There was a
get...
game. What game was it? Some game. I was watching Angry Joe play, and he was like going through these voices, and it was some random game, and it had 20 voices, and then you could change the thing. It was like Fighting Stance Melee 1, Fighting Stance Melee 2, and it
Just
went up
like
to
a
like
ton?
like tons of different voice selections. And I'm like, Activision recorded 4 lines for Torque.
yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Well,
Activision.
and that's what's funny is I jumped back into Black Ops 4 last night just for a couple matches. And I was like, oh, maybe, it's been 4 months. Maybe they updated it and they have a few more lines or something. A few
Torque
more
report
things.
to
And I'm
them.
like, I started up, it's like, Torque report to
This will
them.
knock
Like,
someone's
I'm like,
dick.
oh my gosh, come on.
I know.
It can't be that hard
It's
just to add a
ridiculous.
few
Even
more.
with 2 big updates, they haven't updated a single line.
That's one thing I hope Apex does is add more lines because
They have
I
a
love
lot
the
of lines.
Their voice actors are awesome. in
And the thing
Apex.
is, all their lines you can change.
Yeah.
Here,
So.
my gripe is they should synchronize it with each player. Because what I don't like is if you don't know, literally, I'll hear a line from your character and he'll say a different thing on your screen. So I'll be like quoting him and be like, "I'm rapidly approaching my death," and you're like, "Why did you say that?" Because he didn't say that on your game.
Yeah, it'll
And
say
so I'm
something
like,
else.
I want it. Why don't they just synchronize it? That's kind of weird for me. Huh?
Yeah, it is weird because there's also the moments where,
Pathfinder.
you go up the finishers where you finish
Right,
someone.
right.
It's like, what if you paid or wanted a specific thing to say to them, like "Gotcha, fool," but instead on theirs you're just
I like loot.
You're like, "I like loot," and kill them.
Yeah, it's like, okay, what?
It's like, what? But I paid for the other one. I wanted
Yeah,
them to hear that.
I don't like that RNG-esque thing because that's something so simple.
RNG, sorry.
A random number generated. It's
Oh,
just
okay.
like it's a term people use when it's random.
Gotcha.
Like when you get a random voice line, I don't know why. All games have specific. They synchronize the voices with each player's. I mean, the most obvious one is Overwatch. You buy voice lines and everyone hears it when you say it. The same voice line, and you pick it before the game. But something like Apex Legends, it's like, it's just random. It's like,
Yeah.
you buy this voice line, well, you might get it at some point.
That is weird that it's that way. But one thing about Apex that I think it does extremely well is have great voice acting.
It does.
Yeah,
I think
dude,
I've noticed that.
The
It's
characters,
weird.
I love hearing their voice lines. They're very memorable. We're already quoting a ton of them. Pathfinder has my favorite voices.
I like
voice
Luke.
lines. I like
Luke.
Luke.
You're going
Hold your
to die
breath
now.
if you have a respiratory system.
Next big news story. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but this just this E3 is looking more and more depressing.
Oh my gosh, EA.
Because EA just announced they're not going to hold a press conference.
But I don't care.
FDA anyway.
Yeah, I don't really care because like they never.
Anthem.
That's the thing is they never really announced anything too crazy before E3. Like the biggest one that I remember in recent history was Anthem, which I didn't really, at the time, wasn't super excited for. You know.
Yeah, it's disappointing. So, to be clear, they are still going to have an E3 presence. So, they're still going to be at E3, just not doing a press conference. And apparently, the Friday before E3, which is the earliest someone's ever done something before E3, they're doing like a streaming day. Like they're going to have like
something.
It's called EA Play or something, and it's going to be
Yeah.
they're going to have a bunch of like creators and like influencers come and
Well,
play
they said
the
like
new games.
in like sports.
Sports
Players.
Sports. Oh my god!
Wait, what were you doing?
I was doing.
You were just going sports.
I was doing freaking LMFAO.
Everybody. It didn't seem like
That's why I thought Hasten was doing.
It didn't seem like because you were. It sounded like you were just going.
Right,
Sports,
I was so
sports,
cringy. Now I look like a freaking idiot.
I think it was more funny than
That's
cringy.
a highlight right there.
Sports,
And we're just like,
I think it's because your tone wasn't very obvious, so it sounded like you were just going
Yeah.
like this: sports.
And you guys are like, shut up. You guys are like,
And I thought you were asking us to say sports, so I was like, oh, sports.
sports. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, Patrick.
Patrick!
Good.
Squidward!
Good. Oh, he says
Yeah.
Squidward because
Yeah.
then Patrick's like,
Well, he's like, Patrick. He's like, Squidward.
good.
It'll help.
I shouldn't have done anything. I should have left that be your cringeworthy moment. Anyway.
It'll help.
Okay.
Anyway, but they're at
So
the EA Play.
EA
they're,
will
like,
not be at
bringing-
E3 holding a traditional press conference.
It's Bethesda.
So we still don't know. This is what's getting
I don't
worrisome.
want that
Is
there.
as of right now, the only confirmed ones is Microsoft. Microsoft is the only one 100% confirmed. Obviously, we can expect Ubisoft. We can expect Bethesda.
Ubisoft
And
will
Nintendo.
announce there's
Which-
another Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
Which,
another
all I know
Dance Revolution,
Yeah.
whatever.
is
Just
freaking Xbox is hyping up this E3. They're like, I think they have some serious things planned. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like they've been
They might.
on,
This
they've
might
been
be
on
their
hiatus as far as like news for a long time. Like they've been quiet, haven't been saying anything. There's been
hope
so
so.
many rumors that they're going to talk about next gen.
year. What if they announce Xbox Nintendo co-press conference?
Be dope.
Oh my
That'd be
God.
That'd be crazy.
Don't think it'll happen, but I think there is a possibility that Phil Spencer will either show up in the Nintendo Direct
Or
a Nintendo character or a Nintendo
Bowser.
guy will show up.
It'll be Bowser.
Yeah, Doug Bowser.
We'd like to welcome
Bowser
the
will
new
literally
president of
come out
Nintendo.
at Xbox.
Bowser.
Yeah. Freaking
cool.
Bowser
I mean-
actually comes out.
He's dressed up as Bowser.
He's like, hey!
All the Xbox fans are like, oh my gosh, freaking Nintendo.
All the classic
fans,
Nintendo.
All the Nintendo fans like me and Tanner and stuff will be
Like,
going crazy.
what?
It's Bowser.
And
And
the
everyone
Xbox is
else
like, oh my gosh, freaking Nintendo.
This guy's dressed up as Bowser. And Nintendo actually does stuff like that though, which I love. Like they
I do.
literally had a skit a few years ago where Iwata and Miyamoto and Reggie became like puppets, like Muppet characters, and became Star Fox characters.
What?
Yeah, you need to watch this. It was super.
My
weird.
favorite one though is when what's his name? Hideo
Kojima.
Yeah, he came out with the Master Sword. Remember, I think it was at the Video Game Awards, and he was like, "Shing!" When they announced Skyward Sword or something.
Oh, you're not talking about Hideo Kojima. I know who you're talking about. You're talking about the Zelda creator or something.
No, it was
Are you talking
Hideo
about
Kojima.
Miyamoto?
It was Miyamoto.
Okay, yeah, not Kojima. Kojima is the guy who's doing Death Stranding.
Oh yeah, no, Kojima. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
The biggest cringe for me was when all three of the Xbox, like these guys went up on stage for,
Oh, yeah.
I think it was the Game
I thought it
Awards.
was cool.
It was cool, but like you could tell, like they all had to have the exact same amount of time speaking.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were like, blah, 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 and then it goes, blah, 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 blah.
That's
I
true.
thought that was
they'd
cool.
cut off in the middle of the sentence.
I thought it was an awesome moment. It was
Uh,
really cool.
Yeah, I thought it was really. I think it was like a history moment. Like,
Oh, yeah.
all three big
I think-
working together, talking.
I think they were saying it's the first time those three have been on a stage
I
together.
wonder if there's memes
ever.
now that's like PlayStation punching those guys just like.
Well, I've seen memes where it's like Phil Spencer and Reggie, like their hands are photoshopped, like shaking hands with a wad of cash, and then Sony's just over on the side. Like,
I've seen the one where
not
it's,
with crossplay.
where it's the Drake and Josh meme, where it shows Xbox and Nintendo like making out, and then it shows like Drake
Oh,
as
yeah.
PlayStation looking at
or
them. Like,
Josh, you mean?
yeah, and he's like, yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway,
good stuff. Are you guys disappointed about no EA?
No.
Yeah,
I won't get more Madden news.
They don't have that great of a press conference.
I mean,
anyway.
what did they usually announce?
It's
They
just
just
talk about
Madden.
Madden.
They talk about
sports.
Madden, FIFA.
I don't
Star Wars,
but I don't care about.
We're not gonna have Star Wars.
Their press conferences have recently all of them have been known to be
Here's the
just
thing.
awful.
I
Yeah,
think
awful
that
conference,
EA
terrible.
is finally getting that check, that reality check, where they're like, okay, we need to change something out because
It would-
think about all their games recently: Anthem, Battlefront 2,
Apex Legends.
Besides, but that's not. But the thing is, they didn't really license that as like, oh, this is ours, right? Nobody really knew. I didn't even know it was.
They
EA.
are now though.
They are.
Now that it's popular.
Now they're using Origin. They're like
I
EA Respawn.
See,
Apex Legends.
that would have been cool though. Imagine a press conference and they announce a bunch of cool new a big Apex update.
Sick.
or something.
But the thing is that's not to say that Respawn won't come to E3 and say something.
Well,
They could
Respawn's
even
owned
come out.
by EA.
I know,
so.
but they could even come out at the Xbox press conference, PlayStation press conference, and be like,
Sure, yeah, EA
be like,
is
"Welcome
third party,
this
so they
person
very
from
well could do that.
Respawn," yeah.
That's more than likely too, because Xbox usually always has like
Oh, yeah.
FIFA or something shown.
and
like,
it'll
on.
probably be Apex. I mean, I'm assuming
That'd be dope.
Apex is not going to be freaking gone from E3. Apex is going to take this big train that they got of hype and use it, hopefully.
Anyway, last piece of news we got is Nintendo Labo has announced that they're doing a VR. You guys see this? So
Nintendo's
Nintendo
finally has
officially.
the VR.
So Nintendo beat Xbox to VR, which is nuts. I mean,
Did they really though?
They
No,
did.
I mean,
but
it's
Xbox has never had VR.
Yeah.
I'm not counting this as VR. If it's
We'll see
actually
how
just
it
a
is.
cardboard box.
We'll
that
see
I
how
put
it
with my
is.
But I
Switch
mean,
in.
Android has cardboard.
I don't
Yeah.
count that as VR though.
But it
That's
is.
not
It's
real
the
VR.
same.
It's
Like,
not the
literally,
same as
it's,
real
it's
VR.
not like PSVR. Or
Well, yeah,
Oculus
it's not
or
like
something.
an actual PlayStation. Like
This VR that's
headset.
coming out, it's like you put the screen in front of your face. I'm not
Yeah.
counting that as real VR. That's not what I envisioned when I was like VR.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 720p too, so it's like you're gonna have a 720p screen.
That's
right up next to your
horrible.
face. Yeah,
The PSVR ones I think are like almost 2K.
really.
Like they have to be. You have to have good quality on those screens because they're right here.
Yeah,
You're gonna see those pixels. That's gonna look awful.
yeah. We'll see. It's mostly Labo is
I mean, it's
targeted
cool,
toward kids.
but like that's not gonna look good.
Yeah, and Labo is targeted toward kids, plain and simple.
I think like
if
the
you look at
Oculus
it-
Rift uses or the Vive uses 4K monitor. That's why it's so expensive.
Really.
Yeah, the new one uses two 4K things so that you don't see.
I mean,
all the
even the
pixels.
Microsoft HoloLens, the new one that just got announced, is almost 4K.
I mean, HoloLens has been announced forever though.
No, HoloLens 2. Literally, like it was like last month. You got to watch the trailer. It's actually really cool because they're going.
HoloLens too.
They're going away from.
I think you might have watched something fake.
No, it's 100% real.
No, I haven't seen anything
I
about HoloLens.
promise you it's
HoloLens
real.
1 hasn't even been
No,
released.
Connor, HoloLens 1 wasn't a thing. HoloLens 1 was.
Why would they release a HoloLens 2 then?
Because HoloLens 1 was for consumers. It was more for like, oh yeah, but then it didn't really sell well because it wasn't really known. HoloLens 2, they diverted to more companies, right? They're trying to do a company thing. It looks sick because
No, it is real.
it's not VR. HoloLens isn't VR. And
No,
it's not.
it's augmented reality.
No, it's not AR.
Yes, it is.
MR, mixed reality. They changed
Yeah, it's
it.
like on the,
Okay.
remember when
So-
they did the
okay.
Minecraft thing?
No,
and
so
it pops
literally-
up on the table.
no,
Yeah,
it's actually-
that's literally the definition of augmented reality. Is seeing the stuff in front of you. That's augmented reality.
Well, no, augmented reality.
So
isn't-
whatever they're calling
no,
it, it
because
has augmented reality
isn't
elements.
interacting with the real world. Augmented is you can see it, but it's not interacting with the real world.
Well, yeah, but in the base, I'm going completely off of the first HoloLens thing they showed. They weren't like grabbing the Minecraft pieces with their
But
hands.
now they are.
Okay, so that's new.
So
though.
now
That's new.
what looks actually really cool, which I'm kind of upset that they are diverting to more company based and workers than gaming, right? Because they had that whole cool trailer with the Minecraft thing the first time, but they could do it so well now. They've added like because the first HoloLens there was weird pinch features where you had to do this to do anything, but now they've made it to where it recognizes your hands to where you can grab stuff like freaking Iron Man and like
That's
throw
cool.
them and open them and pinch them and
What is Microsoft doing with this though? Like,
it's not Xbox.
like how did? Well, I know it's Microsoft though. Why is this? Why did I not hear about this? You know, it's like how are they not marketing this and making it like a big deal?
But
It's
because
so
it's
cool.
not. Here's the thing:
It's
we
so
didn't
cool.
hear about it because it's Microsoft. It's not Xbox.
But that's Microsoft's
Because-
bigger than Xbox. Microsoft literally is one of the biggest.
No, I know,
companies
but
ever.
you don't hear everything Microsoft. Microsoft
I
announces.
know.
New
I hear a lot
phones
about
and-
technology.
I know, but Microsoft announces new phones all the time and new tablets and stuff like that. New parts of their
Well, sure,
computers.
but like this is a big deal. Like I don't. If it's
It wasn't big enough for them because since it's not consumer. It's
Yeah.
not consumer based.
By the time it gets to the Xbox, then is it going to be like
Because
HoloLens 5?
you literally can't buy it unless you're a company.
so what's
This
even
next
the point then,
generation
you
of
know?
consoles needs to do something.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the thing is that I
Because
think
literally all that the Xbox One and PS4 are upgrades.
They're
like hardware upgrades. Of
I think-
4K,
Yeah.
6K. One day it'll be 8K, and it's like, okay,
I think they
what-
will
what goes
Okay,
there?
where's my VR? Or
Yeah,
like
or
where's
something new?
Where's
like,
my
Can I
like,
take it like a Switch
yeah,
hybrid?
Where's that kind of stuff?
I 100% think that the innovation is going to be mobile. I think it's that they're both going to be trying.
That's
to be
not innovation
Nintendo's.
anymore, though.
But
with
it is.
Nintendo.
I mean, playing AAA titles on your phone and on your mobile devices is very
That's something that Microsoft
like-
needs to add. It's not something that their next console needs to be, though.
But it's not going to be their next console. It's going to be part of their next console. It's going to be a lot like the Switch because there's already been a lot of rumors that it's no disc, right? And I think it's 100% real.
Well, there's one
Well,
with
there's
disc and one
rumored.
without
Yeah,
disc.
there's two.
Yeah,
There's
and I think,
discless
and
and
I'm
disc.
sure that the disc one is going to look like a normal Xbox, but I'm thinking the not discless one is going to be tiny because they won't need any sort of disc reader, laser thing, any sort of processor to process the.
Well, they still have to have the
discs.
big like computer.
Well, yeah, well
cards.
that's the thing is
I mean, a
thinking,
graphics card's
like,
this big.
But think about the Xbox One S, right? It's like this big, and it
it
still has
doesn't
a
have
disc
the
reader.
graphics card.
Think about
that it's
without
gonna
a
have.
disc reader.
It's
gonna
half
be
of that.
Yeah,
Talk
half-
about or on the topic of Microsoft too. There's rumors that a discless Xbox is literally going to come in May. Have you guys heard about this?
I have heard.
Like an Xbox One?
An Xbox One S. There's rumors that in May Microsoft's going to release
But-
a Xbox One S that costs like $200 or like $150.
No, it's not an Xbox
They,
One X.
they need to
For-
drop it
with no
lower.
disc.
than
No, they said
200.
Xbox
disc.
One X.
No, not an X. It's an S. I promise.
Are you sure?
100%.
Because they said there's going to be a launch title, Rise 2 or something.
No, you're thinking you're talking next gen Xbox.
I'm not sure what
I'm
I'm
talking about literally as just a random thing. It's not a big deal. Xbox is just going to release in stores an Xbox One S that doesn't have a disc reader. And it's super cheap and it's only digital. It's like basically booting up your console. It's like a Roku, like we always.
I mean,
talk
how
about.
my console is kind of right now.
Yeah, you just don't put disc in it, and it's all digital. Yeah,
Because I don't. I mean, I've had Destiny in my Xbox for months because I usually just most of my games are digital now. I mean, Destiny 2 I bought digitally, Anthem I bought digitally, Fortnite, Apex. I mean, I don't really have a lot of disc games anymore.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
you guys are different. 'cause-
Physical digital is going to be another topic. That's going to be
Yeah.
a good. Oh, that'd actually be a good death match too. I didn't think
I
about
know,
that.
but you can't really get rid of physical from existence because then digital wouldn't.
I mean, sure we could. We could pretend.
Yeah, sure.
But either way, Microsoft, I want Microsoft to, at E3, announce something like the HoloLens for consumers. Like a cool thing that it's like, check this out. You can buy this $300 this fall.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how they haven't done that. They always do stuff like this. Xbox always shows off these really cool things. Like Room was a thing.
Yeah,
back in the day.
I was excited for that,
Me
and then
too.
nothing happened.
And then they never released it, never talked about it again.
I have the
HoloLens.
perfect room for that now. Like
Dude,
where
your
my
room would
couch
be
is,
perfect.
it's just an open room basically.
There's so many cool things they could do if they actually just released them. Taryn, could you, when you're heading out, can you check on Blackie?
Yep.
Make sure, because I hear him moving around.
Sure.
But there's so many cool things they could be doing with the technology they have, especially since it's Microsoft, dude. Like, Microsoft is huge. I don't know how they only stick to a game console right
I
now.
feel like they're kind of just being safe.
Yeah.
Like they don't want to take these chances that like Nintendo did with the Switch, because the Switch is a real jump. Like
Yeah. It was
it kind of ruined their handheld market,
Mm-hmm.
but in a way helped it because
Yeah.
like they have their own handheld now.
It's funny because Switch literally killed one of their own platforms.
Yeah.
Like, the Switch killed 3DS, which is a Nintendo platform. Like, they cannibalized it, which was a smart move probably at the end of the day. But the 3DS is, if I'm not mistaken, was one of the highest selling handhelds of all time. Like, it
Imagine
had
if they
huge
would have
market
done
base.
like, so they had the 3DS as their handheld console, and then they did like a console. You know, then they're keeping this money stream going because you have to buy 2 Nintendo things.
Yeah.
You know, which I don't know why, but I guess the Switch you're getting more money out of it.
Yeah, exactly. And more people might be willing to buy a Switch because it's 2-in-1.
And if Xbox, like I think if Xbox joins them, it's gonna tear
Oh
the
my
gaming
gosh.
market up.
Dude, that'd be nuts. Like, that's one thing I don't think we've talked about a whole lot is the idea of Xbox Game Pass coming to Switch and like what that would do for the gaming
Like
landscape
Shadow
in
of
general.
War is gonna be on the Switch.
Yeah, like or any game from Xbox Game Pass. Like, think about that. And that's even talking one day, or maybe even right away, Microsoft exclusive games. Like Halo Infinite could be on the freaking Switch. Like, what the F? That's so random. Who knew that day would ever even be like feasible? Like, I never thought that we'd.
I never
actually
thought
see
they
that.
would partner up
No,
ever.
their relationship has been really cool. The whole Xbox cross Nintendo thing they've been doing.
Yeah.
But my hopes are E3 this year. We're not gonna have Sony. We're not gonna have EA. It sounds like it's gonna be Xbox show to lose, right?
Xbox and Nintendo.
Xbox and Nintendo. And Nintendo.
I don't know if they have anything to announce though.
Yeah, and they also do their own thing.
They just announced they released Smash. They could have a Mario Kart, I guess.
Yeah, I mean Mario Kart World Tour on the iPhone 2 is supposed to be coming this year.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's things they could show, but Nintendo's always off just doing their own thing. Like they're totally content. They're not competitors. I mean, they're competitors, but they're not like rivals. Clearly, like Xbox and Sony are in a way. Because
I wonder if Epic will have a conference this year.
Oh,
because Epic opened their own games shop and
dude,
develop
that's a
games
great point.
And stuff like that. So
Epic's huge too.
Epic's huge now.
Why wouldn't Epic? I mean, think about that. Yeah, they could announce. Dude, they could even do something, even if it's not that big. They just announce what the next season of Fortnite's going to be. They announce about their.
I bet they have a new
store.
game cooking soon.
Yeah,
probably pretty soon. I mean, they were developing Fortnite for how many years? It's not like that was the only game Epic was working on.
Yeah, and they're still developing it, constantly.
Technically,
yeah. I mean, technically, it's still not even released or however you want to say it, but it's pretty insane. So, I'm looking forward to see
who's the conferences and stuff.
Who's going to be like the king too of the conferences of E3 because traditionally it's.
I think it'll be Xbox, but you never know.
Yeah.
Bethesda could come out and be like, "Hey, here's Starfield. Look how amazing it is." And
I don't know.
Here's a like a sneak peek for
I'm excited.
Elder Scrolls.
I'm excited for our predictions episode for E3.
To quote Angry Joe on this actually, because he talked about this with the freaking bomb that was Fallout 76. I really hope they're changing the engine because they've been using the same engine for their games.
I'm sure they are
like
too.
10 years. They have not changed their engine for like 10 years. They're using an old system, and I really hope that these new games aren't on that system because that's gonna suck if freaking Starfield and the new game. So I'm hoping they don't. I honestly hope Bethesda announces they're not going either. I hope they bunker down and they start working.
I hope they do announce they. I want people.
But I don't want. What are they going to announce?
The
I don't want them to announce anything else that's going to delay their freaking.
I mean, I think they have things to announce. My prediction is that Bethesda.
They still have. What happened to Elder Scrolls Blades?
Blades, they can talk about. Which
that was
they actually
supposed to come out last year.
Yeah. Well, they were. I just saw a tweet about it. Actually, they were talking about it. It looks cool. Which looks like Skyrim. I think it's using the same engine as Skyrim actually on the mobile. Because I've heard they're trying to actually go more open world than they thought. You know how it's supposed to just be like more
kind of an adventure,
where it's going to actually have open world areas where you can like walk. There's going to be the arena, and then you can like walk to the left into the town, and then there's like forest areas. It's going to be cool.
I hate playing on mobile devices.
I do too. I hate touchscreen
They need
controls.
to make like. I know you can buy it with like Android phones, but Apple, there's nothing. Mm-hmm. You can't get these controllers for Apple.
What I'm hoping is that they make more of like a gaming tablet. You know what I mean? Because like I don't, even if I had a controller, I still want a bigger screen because it's just like I'd have to be like this.
Or if nothing else, Xbox needs to do a Bluetooth thing. You hold down the middle Xbox button, do
which
a Bluetooth
they do
thing,
have.
Connect to your. Well, I know, but then just play right on. I can play on my laptop.
See,
right
that's
here.
what sucks is because me and my little brother were actually trying to do this because he got Fortnite on his mobile and he's like, oh, well, like Xbox Bluetooths, and he was able to move around his home screen with the controller, but he couldn't control Fortnite, which is like I don't know why he couldn't. Right? So they need to make like compatibility with the phones. Like I feel like it'd be really easy. You could probably connect the Xbox controller to your Apple phone even right now, but it just wouldn't control anything. You know.
I have a pretty. I don't know if it's that crazy of a prediction, but I think Bethesda this year. I don't think they're going to show any Starfield or any Elder Scrolls.
I don't think so either. Not
Elder Scrolls 6.
I'm thinking Starfield may get announced next year, and Elder Scrolls is still like 5 years away in my opinion. I still think it's going to be.
I'm going to die before this.
Like literally, they're not going to announce Elder Scrolls
until... It's a running joke at my work where it's like, yeah, I'll never get to play Elder Scrolls. I'm going to die.
One day maybe. We'll see.
We'll be in our 40s.
I was like, I'll never get to play Elder Scrolls 10 at this rate.
Yeah. Sadly.
Yeah, that's realistic.
That's 40 years
Granted,
from now.
though, here's the thing is I will defend it because we had a lot of Elder Scrolls games come out quickly. I mean, Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim, even though they were each like 5 years apart, was a lot less than right now. It's been, I think, 11 years. No. Less than that.
No, it's been
2011.
2011, so it's been almost 9 years.
9 years. It's crazy.
8 years, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, technically it was November 2011, so really we're looking at like around 8 years. 7,
so like
end of 7 years.
8 years.
So,
But, like,
but before you know it, it's
It
gonna
is.
be 10.
It sounds like a lot longer than the other ones, but it's not that long. The fact that they've already announced it is like pretty normal.
A prediction I have for E3, I'll give out one prediction. I'm not going to give everything out, but I think there's going to be at least one superhero game.
I hope so.
I hope so,
Someone. There's going to be
That'd
the
be sick,
Avengers
like a
game.
nice
I don't
Avengers.
I hope
know
so.
I don't know why the Russo brothers went to the Game Awards and then didn't do anything.
That was the weirdest thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they didn't announce that awesome event.
The Russo brothers came and it was like, no way, they're here, and they literally showed off.
They
nothing.
They announced an award.
Well, yeah, but I know what I'm saying though is they didn't show off anything from Endgame. They didn't show the Avengers game, like nothing. Like, what was the point of having them?
Did they even
come?
talk about Marvel's Avengers Alliance or whatever?
They
I don't
didn't
think
do
so.
anything
No.
with it.
Yeah.
They like someone announced that, but
But it wasn't Russo brothers. Yeah, that was a really weird
That's
thing.
really weird.
Yeah, I think it could be Rocksteady.
I'm thinking
it could
Rocksteady.
be.
I hope Rocksteady
But
does.
where are they going to announce it? They usually announce it at PlayStation.
It'll be Xbox then. Yeah.
But they usually been PlayStation pretty much like.
Yeah, but there's actually been some heavy rumors from what I've heard going on. I mean,
That they
rumors,
partnered
grain
with
of salt
Xbox.
stuff. Not partnered, but like
Their close
that.
relationship.
Yeah, they might be. Some people predict that freaking Rocksteady could be like getting into bed with Xbox and maybe like the DLC.
Imagine if
first.
Xbox bought Rocksteady.
Oh my god,
That'd be
dude!
sick.
That would be the biggest company they could or developer.
I mean,
they
it would
could
be
buy.
the biggest one they bought so far.
Oh, yeah,
Besides
for sure.
Obsidian, I think Obsidian has their biggest.
Obsidian's
so
the
far.
biggest one. Yeah,
Besides, like of course, 343 and Rare, but those were wild.
those before. We're talking the new ones.
Yeah, the new ones. That I mean, Obsidian
Obsidian's
was
pretty
big.
big. They made it. What game did they make?
Fallout New Vegas.
Fallout New
Yeah, they
Vegas.
made, I wouldn't. That's widely
Dragon-
considered as one of the best Fallouts.
Not Dragon Age, but Dragon.
Yeah, I think it's Dragon Age.
It wasn't the one that won Game of the Year. It was Dragon something else, like one of those big
Dragon Quest,
Dragon Quest or something.
the mobile game.
It's big.
They also did the Star Wars game, right? Knights of the Old Republic or whatever.
Oh, Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah, KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic, Fallout New Vegas, Eternity, Pillars of Eternity.
That one was free on Xbox.
Was it? Yeah. Anyway.
Oh yeah, Dungeon Siege.
I swear there was a dragon one.
I
But
feel like
either
it
way,
was.
I also Warner Brothers Montreal could announce something. They haven't had anything since Arkham Origins.
But they're
crazy.
yeah. But same with
What are they gonna do? Like, are they gonna do a Justice League?
I don't
Are
know
they
if
gonna
Warner
do a
Brothers
Superman?
Montreal
Are
is
they gonna do a-
necessarily more of like a game
Superman
company
would
that's
be
gonna
cool.
continue.
I want a game
They
where
are.
I can fly around
Because
the world.
even
That'd
something
be
like
cool.
2K Australia made Borderlands this pre-sequel, and like they have
Warner Brothers Montreal is making a DC game.
they've
That
already
is
confirmed.
100% confirmed. Yeah, they're hiring right now for 2 DC games. Apparently, they're splitting into 2 companies or something
What are
like
they
that.
gonna do? What are they gonna do? I wonder.
I know. My prediction is they're doing a Batman Arkham game. I think
so?
I think Warner Bros. Montreal is doing a Batman, or maybe not Arkham, but a Batman game.
I'm
that's
hoping
set in the Arkhamverse.
just
and
an Arkhamverse.
Rocksteady is either doing Justice League or something no one is expecting,
Like the Flash or something.
yeah, or even not even superhero.
We talked about this last week, I think, but I was like, when I said the Flash would be the hardest superhero to make.
That would be
a game
tough.
of.
It would. I mean,
Think
imagine
about it. That'd be cool to think of like the Arkham free flow gameplay
with
where
Flash.
you just tap X, you just like kind of tap X, and you're just constantly going.
They'd
back
have to
and forth
make it
really
have
fast
some
between
sort of
people.
slow
But like,
motion.
you can't. How do you move around?
That's the
with
thing.
Flash?
It would have to be
Yeah.
some sort of slow motion where it's almost like a.
Oh, dude, well, picture
You know?
like
Like,
you
you
just
know, like
hold,
Quicksilver?
You hold right trigger. Okay, picture a massive open city like Arkham Knight's Gotham City. You hold right trigger and press forward, and you run full speed, and you can jump with A, and you literally blast through buildings. Like if you go full speed, you just
What they'd
like,
have
crash
to
through
do as
buildings
far
and
as
just run around.
gameplay, because it wouldn't work
Yeah.
with your human brain, they'd have to make you be going the same speed, but everything else is going seems like it's going faster when it's really not. You're going faster, but it doesn't look like you are to your eyes.
Yeah.
You just get the illusion that you are like, whoa. And it might even, I think what the better system is they could just make it go in slow motion. Where it'd be like, and everything like stops. You know, like Quicksilver on X-Men? Where everything kind of stops, and then you're like, you're able to do stuff. And I think they'd do something more like
The
that.
movement for him would be hard.
It would be really tough.
Because that'd be sick. Like
Now that
imagine,
you've seen
imagine
these
an
game
ability where you can
developers
stop
nail
time.
these games, like Spider-Man was nailed. Batman's movement's amazing.
I mean,
specifically,
You
City.
can argue
Yeah,
and say
but-
that Batman games were perfected as far as their combat system.
Batman and Spider-Man have been nailed in terms of video games.
Yes.
I'm curious to see, and really, Batman and Spider-Man are the only 2 we've seen nailed.
Think
in
what's
terms of
another
video games.
superhero game you can even name that was even like.
Well, that was been perfected
Yeah.
like those.
I mean,
Nothing,
besides
yeah.
like the Spider-Man game on the PlayStation 2.
No,
like-
we're not. I'm talking.
Yeah,
newer stuff.
there hasn't been a big superhero movie or a big superhero game, you know, and we've never been able to.
We're about to go through a revolution in that, I think.
Be
I mean,
awesome.
Anthem was Iron Man. Just kidding.
Yeah,
God of
that'd be
War,
cool.
God of War was Thor. Just kidding.
God of War was the
Remember, I used to play it. It was when I was really young, so I think I have a falsehood of it. But there was an Iron Man game. Maybe it was Iron Man 2.
Yeah, there was an
And
Iron Man
I
game.
was like, this is so cool flying around as Iron Man. So, like, I thought it was, like, an amazing game. And I look back on reviews on it, and it's just trash. apparently.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I remember seeing like video of that and stuff. I never played it, but yeah, those are like those. It's weird that licensed games don't exist like that anymore, really, because we were actually talking about this, I think, just a couple weeks ago, where it's like, I think you were saying like, how has nobody? It's been almost 8 years since the first Avengers movie came out, and we haven't had one Avengers game. Like, how is that possible?
Well, it is weird. That's something we need to talk about.
Even
in
like
topic.
the crappy, just random.
Because like licensed games, literally, like think about it. Remember when we were kids, there was Shrek games, Madagascar games,
there's a ton.
like Despicable
There
Me
was a game
games.
for every movie that came
every
out.
single movie that came out, even if it was like Drake and Josh. There was a video game.
There was a
for it.
video
I
game.
think there was a Drake
There
and Josh
literally
game.
is a video. There's a iCarly video game, Zoe 101. Like,
It's nuts.
but that doesn't exist anymore. Like,
No.
it's weird. It's like because they can't. It's too much money. 'Cause
Well, I think also
games
I
are
think
at a different
people,
perspective now.
I also
Or
think
different-
things nowadays people see past the bull crap. I think people can with the internet and reviews and
Imagine them
influencers
trying to
playing
say sell a freaking Shrek game for $60.
Well, that's what I mean. Is like, yeah, back then it's like I remember getting tons of Game Boy Advance games and stuff of just, oh, I like He-Man, so I'm gonna get the He-Man game, and then it's like I'd play it and I'd have fun with it, but really, if you look back on it, it's like that was such a cash grab. That game wasn't good. Like it was just they just put it out because they know kids would buy it.
Like
and
for
people
example, the
bought
most
it.
recent one I can think of is this game that our little sister had on her DS was like Olaf's Quest, and it literally is the crappiest mobile game. You literally like run and jump and collect snowflakes, and then you end the level. It's like a mobile game. I'm like, how the frick did they sell this for $40? Like it's crazy,
Yeah,
and it's weird that those don't exist anymore because you don't even think about that. Like,
yeah, there used to be a ton.
I haven't even thought about that, but it's weird that that's the thing.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm excited for superhero games more than I am movies, probably.
really.
Like just in general, I want them to
Imagine,
really
yeah.
start rolling out because two of my favorite games in the past 10 years probably have been superhero games.
Yeah,
I mean, imagine being
It's
able to
realistically,
switch.
I guess like 5 because it's the Arkham games, but
yeah, I'm with you.
Imagine being able to like switch between the Avengers. How sick that'd be! Like they're all fighting like aliens, and you can like press Y, and you'll go to the other one, and like can start doing stuff with them. Like that'd be sick. I'm surprised. Like
I
they're
think it's
such
going
an
to be hard
easy...
to do too because you gotta kind of balance out these characters.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're kind of going into another topic here, but I think it would be fun to do like our ideal, how a superhero game would play, like our ideal version of what it would be and how it would play. Because can you imagine, like, picture GTA 5 and how you can switch between the three characters, Trevor and them? Like, what if they had that with, like, Justice League or Avengers? It's like you hold Y, switch between the three, and all of a sudden you just appear as the other one. And then in Arkham Knight, they have things called dual takedowns and stuff like that. You'll be fighting alongside like Nightwing and something like that.
and then
And
you like
can switch between them. Do you know how cool that'd be if you could just press a button and switch to the other one and then like throw the other
Thor
one at
and
the other
Hulk,
guy
like,
and then
take out
smash
a guy?
him? Yeah, because there's
I
some
think that'd be
awesome
sick.
combos you can do in Arkham Knight where like Batman throws a guy and Nightwing knocks him down. And then
imagine that with the Avengers, dude.
Yeah.
Like you freaking throw a guy at Thor, he hits him with his hammer into Captain America's shield, and then Iron Man like lasers him. Like that'd be sick. Like combos going together.
Yeah, like just switching between. Or imagine if it was co-op too. Like if we could all play.
Oh,
that would be awesome.
dude.
what if you could do 5 players?
Yeah.
And you could have a Hawkeye, what's her name?
Me, you,
The
Black
girl.
Widow.
Black Widow, a Hulk, and like, oh, that'd be so
me,
sick.
you, Connor,
like
Maybe
Parker,
3 player. I'd
and
take
Eric.
3 player.
3 player. Yeah, I mean 3 players perfect for us. That's why we love Apex so much.
Yeah, I mean, even like a drop-in, drop-out system, like the Lego games,
Lego,
have, where
yeah.
you can literally play solo, and within a click of a button, you have a
Yeah,
person with you.
yeah. That Lego games don't get enough credit for that. The drop in, drop out thing is such a great feature.
It's
that
such a.
I think the Lego
it was an
games really
innovative feature
popularized.
that hasn't been in almost any other game.
Yeah.
Where you can literally be playing solo, just like any other game, and then get the duo just like that. You know, like it's cool.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and move on to our topic real fast. I don't think our topic should take too long, which is good because we're already an hour and 18 in. But so our
It shouldn't take that long.
No,
I mean,
I don't
we're just
think so.
naming off.
Yeah, it'll be kind of fun though. So our topic this week was our desert island video games. We get 5. So me, Tanner, and Hasten have just been stranded on our own desert island. And you guys can play along too. Picture you're just stranded on a desert island, and you only get 5 games for the
You
rest
have
of your
internet.
life. You have internet. You have the console you want, but you only get 5 games total. 5 games for the rest of your life, stranded on this miserable desert island. What games are you guys gonna pick? Hasten, we'll
All right, I'll start because I
with
feel like I have an easy kind of list here that's obvious.
Yeah.
So my first one, Skyrim. That's my story game.
Should we
So,
go
like,
one by one around?
Okay, let's
Yeah.
make a rule real quick. If there's one that's similar, if we have one that's the same, I think we should both talk about it then. Because then we don't waste time talking about it again.
Or what if we made it interesting, and if somebody names one, they took that game,
No.
and you can't use it.
We can do that as like a separate
But think about that, because then it's like if
That
we're all
would
on the
suck, 'cause
same
then he
desert
gets Skyrim
island-
just because he went first.
Yeah. All right, we won't do that then. All right, Hasten. So Skyrim.
Yep, Skyrim. It's my first one. COD is... Oh.
Should we go to Tanner now?
But yeah, I'll just say Skyrim is one of mine too, as well. I mean, of course.
Yeah.
It's
It's got so many
300
hours.
I mean, 300
Plus
plus
if you add
hours.
DLC.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
it's like 600
I'm going to say
hours.
at least 600. And that's counting one character. And then you can go in and do another build.
And do a whole nother...
Do a whole
it's a
nother
whole
storyline.
different... It's a whole
I mean,
different play.
Dude, think about the Thieves Guild, Dark Brotherhood. You can either choose to side them or kill them. That's such a different storyline that you can go experience. Skyrim is one of the most replayable games ever. Every single time I've played it, I've literally replayed Skyrim 8-9 times.
Yeah.
Because the new systems and all the new stuff. And every time I do it differently. I'll start at like Riften, and then the other time I'll start with the Thieves Guild and do all this crazy stuff. It never gets boring. Like, I'm never like, oh, I gotta play Skyrim again. It's usually like, yeah, I enjoy it. Every time I play it for more than like 10 minutes. I usually play it for more than like a couple hours. So I think Skyrim is an obvious choice, especially with games right now.
Yeah.
The next Elder Scrolls might change my mind, but we'll see.
So for me, this sucks because I had my list and now I can't find it.
Well,
which really
you
sucks.
could probably remember.
I mean, I kind of remember, but I'm worried I'm gonna miss one or like forget what it was. But going off the top of my head, my number one might actually surprise you guys. It's Zelda Breath of the Wild.
I actually figured you'd get them.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild would probably actually be my number one because this game is so huge, just like it is for you guys with Skyrim. It's so huge. There's so much to do. There's countless hours of gameplay and exploration to do that it would literally last me not forever necessarily, but a long freaking time. Like, I've been recently replaying it because our first file on it got corrupted and stuff like that. But I had countless hours in the first playthrough I did of it and I think I finished the game with like 30% complete or something like that. So there's still 70% of stuff I could have done that I didn't. So it's just a massive game. I freaking love that game to death. So that would be my number one, I think.
That's your number one.
Probably. I mean, they don't have to be.
Do we have
necessarily.
honorable mentions that I would take if I could?
I mean, you can throw it out there.
My honorable mentions would be the Batman Arkham games and the Spider-Man game.
Yeah, mine would be like
Wow, so they're not on your list?
They're not on my list.
That's surprising.
mine would be like
I just think like I can beat those games so quickly,
Yeah.
100% complete, and then I can go through it again, and it's the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, they wouldn't last you.
That's
Yeah,
why they're on my honorable mentions. Because like for someone like me, it's like Assassin's Creed. Like Assassin's Creed Black Flag is like an honorable mention, right? Something like Fortnite is an honorable mention, and Breath of the Wild for me was an honorable mention.
That's a good thing to
I
preface
would
with.
take it, but I only had 5.
That is a good thing to preface with because, like, yeah, these games aren't necessarily my favorite games.
It's
I
just
mean, Breath of the
being-
Wild is, but like, not all of the 5 I have.
It's just what could
will be my
last
favorite
you.
games. It's like I'm thinking of being stuck on a desert island and what I'd want. for
They'd
that
have to last you
situation.
the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So
All right. Well, I'll go on my. I don't have these in order in any way because I don't know if I could pick a single.
yeah, I agree.
I'm with you. Yep.
So, COD. Well, no, I'll go Madden right now. So Madden would be my next pick because
Which-
of the continuous gameplay.
Specific Madden.
Just probably the
any?
latest.
The latest one, I guess.
Okay.
It's same thing with like whenever I say COD because I'm gonna say COD. Same probably the newest one.
Right.
So.
Well, if there wasn't Black Ops 4, you probably wouldn't do that though.
Oh yeah, depending. I guess.
What was the- Before Black Ops
World
4.
War II.
Yeah, World War II or Infinite Warfare.
But it's still one of those games that you can just kind of keep playing.
Not
and
if
I,
you
and I
enjoy
don't
it.
hate. And I don't. I like. I
You don't
But if
hate
you don't enjoy the core gameplay, I don't know.
Sure, but it's it's one of those mindless things that I can play.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what most of my list is. It's just mindless garbage.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. All right, Tanner.
You guys want to name off
yeah.
another one?
So I'll go ahead and say what Hasten was gonna say is mine is Call of Duty, but it's not any Call of Duty. It's specifically Black Ops 2, because Black Ops 2 has the entire multiplayer, it has the entire zombies, but not only that, it has a single player campaign. So you got unlimited hours of multiplayer, right? Because you can always keep playing multiplayer, get all the guns, diamond, reset your stats, do the same thing, right? Whatever you want. It will get mindless to an extent, but then you can just play the other game and then go back to it, and then it's fun again. Zombies, there's all the maps, get all the Easter eggs done, take tons of time grinding, we could all play together. Then you also got the single
Well, we
player.
couldn't. You're on your own desert island. But.
That's true. If I'm on my own, then that would suck. I'd get like.
But
a
you have
coconut and
Wi-Fi.
have
You
it
can
play
still
with
play.
me.
Yeah.
Do I have a second
You can
controller?
get
I can just
Wilson
pretend.
from Castaway.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll let you keep going.
And then unlike a lot of the newest Black Ops, it has a single player campaign where you can potentially play it a different way, because there's Black Ops 2 has a really unique storyline that most Call of Duty don't have, where you get to choose what you do. Shoot Menendez, shoot this guy. If you want to do this and do that, so it can be different, and I think that's cool. You could kind of even play the storyline.
So I'll talk about COD real quick because it's on my list too.
Mm-hmm.
And I would pick specifically Black Ops 4 because I also had Battle Royale just generally on my list because I wasn't sure which one I would pick.
Yeah.
But I think I would.
You'd get it.
I would think I would singular take COD 4.
Yeah, that's smart.
COD Black Ops 4 because then I have multiplayer, zombies and Battle Royale.
I would have said that
all
too,
on.
but I don't enjoy Blackout. That's why I didn't pick it.
But it's
I personally don't enjoy.
But think
Blackout.
about it. Would you
it's
rather
okay.
have? I think it's smart too.
I think I can because I can have a Battle Royale and get that need done. Plus, I can add another game.
Yeah,
now
exactly.
So I don't have to because now I got to find another game that I want to add.
Because if you chose like Apex, you might have to cut COD because you might not have room for it, and then you don't get the multiplayer and stuff like that. Yeah, that's a good point. All right, I'll go on to my next one. My next one is Smash Bros. And I'd specifically do Ultimate because it's the latest one. It has the most content. It has the most characters, most stages. It's pretty obvious why I'd pick that one.
I also have Smash.
I
do you?
as
Nice.
well do. Too.
Oh, nice.
I mean, that one's obvious. I feel like because I was gonna
Well, it
just
just
put
has
Smash
countless
Bros.
replayability in it.
I was gonna put Smash Bros. And I also put Ultimate because it's the newest. I was gonna say Brawl because it's the most nostalgic, but I was thinking realistically, like playing forever. I choose Ultimate.
Yeah. That's the reason why I go with Ultimate is, once again, nostalgia is a different thing because, like, if you're going off of nostalgia, for example, like, I might pick...
Like Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah, or even, like, Gauntlet Dark Legacy.
Yeah.
But it's, like, those would be some of my favorite games of all time, but, like, if I'm not playing
it
multiplayer... Like,
forever.
and if I can't play Gauntlet Dark Legacy... With
people,
you
you're
guys,
gonna
I
be
don't wanna
playing.
play it by
You're gonna be
myself
playing
forever.
Gauntlet Dark Legacy for the rest of your life. Oh, wow.
Solo. And I tried to do that. It's not fun.
Yeah.
It's okay. I mean, I try it.
It's not.
and it's not. It's not.
It's fun
amazing.
with people. That's the best part of it.
Yeah, it's like playing Apex or
Yeah,
Sea
exactly.
of Thieves. Yeah, it's a game you need to play with friends.
Speaking of Sea of Thieves, that's on my list. No, I'm just kidding.
I
You're
tried
just
to-
completely alone in the world. Just like,
Yeah, and there's no enemies even because nobody else is there.
just getting drunk.
Wait. Okay, we have to preface this though. You're on a desert island, but the rest of the world is destroyed. Because otherwise, you could just play online with your friends.
No, you okay.
You could have a headset and be like, "Hey, what's up? I'm not even alone."
You don't have a headset. You have a console and a game. So yeah, you can play online. You can play with Hasten, but you just can't talk to him.
Like message him.
No, you don't have
Through the Xbox.
Okay, yeah, you can message him through the Xbox. Have fun. That's gonna.
Well,
suck.
I'm still not
We used to do
alone.
that.
Hey, come save me so I can play any game I want.
No, but I feel like that needs to be changed. I say like you can play online, but all the online people are bots. You're alone in the world.
You're the best. You're the best player.
Because
Yeah.
a desert island is more
Okay.
like you're alone in the world.
Okay,
not
fair.
alone on an island.
Okay, what we'll do is we'll say no friends, but there is online because otherwise a lot of games nowadays would be completely useless.
Well, no, they are online, but none of the people are real.
Yeah, exactly. Well, or they can be real, but they're just not your friends or like people you can talk
And you
to.
can't make friends with them. You
Yeah.
can't make them your friends.
Yeah.
Even if you try. They
Yeah, you can't. You can't. It's just impossible.
Right.
In this fictional universe.
You don't.
we're creating.
You're mute. You can't talk.
Yeah.
That's how it solves it.
Yeah.
And you have no fingers.
you
so you can't
play
type.
games. Yeah. And
You
can't
play with
games.
your butt cheeks.
That would really suck. Anyway, Hasten, what's your next one?
Man, now that I took COD out, I don't have another one because I was gonna say just Battle Royale, but I added that in with COD.
I actually
So-
think it's my turn.
But yeah,
Okay.
he can go.
I've
I
only
gotta
said
look up.
one.
I gotta see if I can find another one now.
Gotcha.
All right, so one of my other ones, I've already said Skyrim, I've already said Black Ops, and I've already said Smash now, I guess. But I'll say one
So
of
wait,
my...
you said what 3? Do it again.
I've said 3. I've said Skyrim, because he
Okay.
said Skyrim. I said Call of Duty, which then he said Call of Duty, and then I said Smash, because you said Smash.
Okay.
So those are 3.
Well, should I go ahead and do it then?
Yeah, you go ahead and do one then, because I didn't realize.
I'm only at 2.
Yeah, frick.
So
I can't believe I'm already 3 down.
So next, I want to spice up my thing so far. So far I got Zelda Breath of the Wild, which is an open world game. It's huge. And I got Smash, which
You
is
got
just
your single
mindless, fun multiplayer, whatever. Now I want to do something that's a story-driven single-player game. And for me, it would be Batman Arkham City. It was tough. Like, if I had to
Arguably
pick,
the best one.
arguably, I could argue between any of the Arkham games. I love all of them. But at the end of the day, I'd pick Arkham City just because that was the one that, for me, I have the most memories with.
I think in the one that you enjoyed the most.
Well, I enjoyed all of them the same, but like that one I think really just stuck with me the most. That one I'm going a little bit off of nostalgia because that's the one that like I was anticipating.
And there's nothing against nostalgia.
Years.
I mean,
yeah.
One of my games I picked because of nostalgia because there's a sequel to it that I could have picked, but I picked the original.
Yeah. So I would go with Batman Arkham City. So then I get a good story-driven game with also a fun gameplay that I love, and I had to put an Arkham game on there. So.
All right. I'll go ahead and say one of my big ones, which is Borderlands 2. And the reason I picked Borderlands 2 is because when me and Connor got it, we got it when it was discounted on the Xbox 360, and me and him played through literally the entire campaign until the second to last boss, Saturn. And then Connor stopped playing. And I remember literally
really?
Yeah, remember we got to Saturn, we kept dying from him. He was that giant yellow robot that kept shooting lasers.
Are you sure he's
from
the last boss?
No, he's not. He's not. He's Saturn, and then you get on the rail. Actually, he's like the fourth to last boss.
Oh, okay. So we had a while still.
We had a while still, but still, we got really freaking far. And then you stopped playing, and I remember I didn't play for a long time. And then I decided to get back on, and I beat the game as my Gunzerker character that I played with you, and I loved the ending. I was like, this is sick. You know, the ending was sick. I don't want to spoil it for you, but it was like awesome. I was like, ooh. And then it was like, at the end of the game, it's like, you unlocked true Vault Hunter mode. And I'm like, So I went through and I played it again. I leveled up all my characters. I started getting legendary items. I started getting really cool guns. And I started getting really into building my character. And immediately I realized how similar it was to Skyrim in the fact that there's so many side quests. Like, I was literally playing the game and I'm like, how have I not once... I've literally played Borderlands 2 so many times. Like, I have so many different characters, but not once have I completed every single quest. Like, it's like Skyrim in that fact that I'll never be able to really get to that point. And every time I go back to it, I enjoy it. And you can always... It reminds me of Skyrim in the fact that you can create a character, right? Like, I can be the Gunzerker, but there's so many different options of how you can play as him, because there's the 3 different skill trees. You can choose different skills in there. You can play the storyline different. There's different weapons. There's like over like thousands of guns. And I've loved... Borderlands 2 is easily one of my favorite games of all time. And so I had to put Borderlands 2 on there because I love it.
That one actually surprises me that it's on your list. I mean, I know you liked it, but yeah, that's a good pick though.
Mm-hmm. So I think I'm going to throw Spider-Man in there because I can't find another one. I was going to say as my kind of my story-based one is the Telltale Walking Dead Season 1.
But they're so short.
But they are short. But
and you'd get tired of it.
You do change though. Like your answers change the way the story goes. Like you
replayability.
can literally change who you kill.
That's
basically. But I think Spider-Man is a good one because it has a great story. I could replay it. You know, I could go New Game Plus. I could do all this other stuff.
Yeah,
Plus, you can kind of just run around and fight, which they're fighting in that game's insane, just like Arkham. So
there's a lot of those games that are just fun to play.
So instead of being an honorable mention, Spider-Man made my cut.
So it's on your desert island now.
And
the gameplay is just
there's a lot of those games that are just fun to play that literally even if you're playing the same if you're playing the same mission, it's still fun. Like I feel like there's a lot of those games that they're just fun to play.
Well, and even if they don't have a great story. There was a point in the DLC when I was playing where it's like another mission where I just go and fight these guys. I'm like, but it's fun.
The combat's cool.
I was like, this isn't very original. Like there's so many missions where it's like, okay, I just go fight this group of people.
There is,
but it's like. It's fun. Like that's a lot of the Arkham missions too. It's like you go to this area, there's just a ton of thugs to fight. And it's that's fine. It's fun though. The gameplay's fun, shooting the webs and and using like a drone or something to try and attack them. Like you have to mix up your gameplay.
I remember that's what
I got way better at Spider-Man's combat than I ever could at Batman.
Oh, really?
The combat in Batman was hard to me because you had to like left trigger B. I'm replaying Arkham City.
And you also have to
now.
like counter.
I've recently beaten it. I'm almost at 100% on it. Well. No, I don't know if I'll ever get 100% because of the Riddler stuff. Yeah. But I suck at the combat in that game compared to Spider-Man.
See, for me, it's the opposite because I think it's easier for me to like press combo buttons. But that's coming from someone who also loves Smash Brothers and like doing certain combos. Mm-hmm. I mean, Smash Bros doesn't have a ton of combos, but you can. And Spider-Man, it was harder for me because you have to like access the menu every single time you change your gadget. Like you have to hold LB or something.
I found that really easy compared I don't know why, because it is more complicated than the quick.
Wait, so in Spider-Man you have to go into the menu?
But like you press like the LB of the Xbox button, and it brings up this thing, and you switch to it, and it just changes it real quick.
Yeah. So it's not like the Batman one where you
actually
hold
I think
down
you can
and
press the button and it changes it.
There's a couple you can, but not all of them. Yeah. So with Batman, almost all the gadgets you can press like you hold LT LT and press B and you'll shoot your electric.
Yeah, there's a
Hold
it's a
LB,
quick. It's like called
quick.
quick.
Yeah, I think they're called quick gadgets or something.
Like
that.
quick something. Yeah, because you like
Yeah.
the freeze gun. I remember specifically, you'd have to go in and pull it out and then aim it and shoot it. But the quick one, it just like shoots.
just
it.
The freeze one, you press right trigger twice. That's the only one I've
Yeah,
got.
did you-
That one and then the left
Yeah,
trigger
freeze.
twice where it's back.
The batarangs.
I freaking dominate. I'm like,
Yeah. Oh yeah, if you hold LT and press Y, I think you do the bat grapple and you clothesline them like.
Oh yeah, you bring them towards you.
Yeah. That, so
but
Didn't they change it to the glue gun though in
the Spider?
Yeah.
The Spider-Man one, I use every single one of
Yeah,
those
me too.
instead of in like Arkham where I can't use the electricity one because I can't figure that out for some reason.
Yeah, that is fair. I think there are some times where I, in Arkham, forget that, like, if I
You
press
have the
LB,
electricity.
I'm like, oh, I also have the electricity because you have to press a certain button combination to do it. And in Spider-Man, you have to open that wheel so you see all them. You're like, and if you're out of something, you're like, okay, I guess I have to use this.
to use the
The
the spider
concussion
drone or
blast.
the concussive blast. I use the concussive blast a lot when I'm
Yeah.
on top of buildings.
Well, oh, and then also Spider-Man, you also have your just like in Batman, there's so many similarities, but you have like the finisher move.
Yeah.
Like the one I use in Spider-Man all the time is the web one where you spin in
Yeah.
a circle and shoot the web and web everyone up. That
Oh,
one's,
the
Oh no,
finisher
I
was
use
in
which one do
Batman,
I
I
use?
forgot.
I use the one where it changes him to being one hit everyone.
oh
So you
yeah,
press
that's
that
good
and he
too.
one hits
You're
everybody.
just like goosh, goosh.
It's
So
like
when
it's
you
like
get
in
those, when you
Batman.
get those big boss dudes, you just switch to that real quick and it one hits them.
Oh,
It's like in
that's
Batman
so
when it's so
impressive.
satisfying and you get to where they're already damaged a lot and you start hearing that crack every time you hear somebody. So it's like goosh, goosh, because then they're dying.
Yeah, they're just it's
and
one
it's
hit
one
punches.
after the other. It's goosh, 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 and then you
They're
get that
such
last guy.
opposite heroes too because you don't hear that in Spider-Man,
No.
but that's because his hits aren't as hard.
Yeah, well, and also in Spider-Man, if you notice, like, I mean, Batman doesn't kill either, but in
Bat-
Spider-Man,
he
if
does.
if you knock people off
Crack in their
buildings in
neck.
Spider-Man, there'll always be a web that shoots
Yeah.
them up against the wall. In Batman, if you knock them off, they just fall all the way to their death.
So like fall off the edge of the
They're
building.
just like,
Spider-Man
ah!
has a lot of details that you're like, wow, that's really
It's
cool.
way cool, yeah.
Wait, so if they fall off a
If
building,
they
they're
fall off
like,
the building and you're like after the battle, you go off the side of the building. They're
webbed
up to the side.
that's
of the building.
cool.
So they don't
I like
die,
that
'cause
because
Spider-Man doesn't
that's
kill.
one like continuity. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Continuity
Yeah.
issue that was always in Batman. Is literally you'd be on top of a building, crack some dude's neck, and then
With
you fall off
Arkham
the
Origins,
building.
when he shoots him with the tank, it's like boom.
No, that's Arkham Knight.
Yeah,
Arkham Knight.
yeah.
Batman doesn't
It's like,
kill
wait
them.
a second.
Yeah.
That sounded like a gun.
Well, and there's literally some of the finisher moves you have in the Arkham games, or like you grab the dude's
Crack their
neck and you
neck.
just crack their neck and then drop them to the ground and then just keep on walking. Like, and it's like, what the frick? That guy's dead.
Or like the ones where they're on the ground, you like step on their face.
And then or he'll grab their arm and like snap their elbow in half, like the opposite way, and then he just walks away. And he's like, and the Joker comes up and he's like, dude, and you're like, I don't kill.
Or like the explosive gel. It's literally explosives, and you're like.
well,
and they
Batman
don't
can
die.
stand right next to those and explode. He's like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he just goes.
Or there's the batarangs too. Like it's a sharp object. You took it right at someone's face. and
ow, Batman.
yeah. Normally,
My favorite
in real
thing-
life, it would just stab you.
My favorite thing to do was in Arkham City when you got to the very end and you were going to fight Joker and everyone was like on hiatus and there was like the alarm going off. You could like there was these specific guys that were on a building where you could use the remote battering and like knock them off.
Oh, yeah.
You'd like and then zoom up to them and they'd go ugh, and they go flying
That's
off.
one of my favorite things to do in the Arkham games in general is use the remote controlled battering and you throw it and you just control it and you like do this like.
Yeah, the
Like
swoop.
you do like
They
a
speed it up.
Yeah,
And then they go
launch
flying.
them. They launch off
Like,
the building, and they're just like ah.
And they instantly die if you get them high enough. Like if an enemy falls from a high distance, they instantly die instead of like being disoriented.
Uh-huh.
So it was like easy kills. You just like launch them up and they'd be like, ooh.
Yeah.
Because I remember on Arkham Origins, there's a map, a challenge map where you're in the Batcave, and I had the highest score I could ever get, like all gold stars, and I got like the main thing because I abused that system. I literally sat in the spawn and I threw batterings and just and then I got the high score and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite things to do. I wonder if I'm still Nightwing on one of the challenge maps. I think I ranked like in the top 100 or something like that.
I doubt it.
I doubt I am anymore, but I was like so proud. I was like, holy crap! I'm
Unless he was on
top
Arkham
100
City.
people.
I mean, Arkham City, you never know.
Yeah, and plus Nightwing was DLC, so not everyone had that.
True.
But anyway, where were we at on the list? So you named Spider-Man. So you've had
That's my 5.
that's your 5. You've done all 5 already.
How many are you at?
Well, a lot of mine were the same. Like I had Skyrim. I had
Yeah, we had
Smash,
similar
I
ones,
had Men,
Call of Duty.
I had COD. I had
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Oh wow,
He had a
Yeah,
lot of similar
that's
ones
crazy.
as all of us. So.
That's true. And then so you have what do you have?
I have one more, so you do one of yours because you have two more.
I have one more too.
Oh, okay.
Oh wait, no, I have 2 more. You're right. I have 2 more. So, my second to last one, I was having a hard time deciding because I wanted a Mario game on there because I love Mario, And I was thinking of doing Mario 64,
But
because
there's
that's
not
the one.
enough content.
Yeah, that's the most nostalgic one to me, and that's at the end of the day, if I had to pick like my favorite Mario game, it'd have to be that, just purely because of nostalgia. But realistically, the one with the most content and the one with the most replayability is Mario Odyssey, which is the new one. And it's like, I kind of feel bad because all of my games are like the new ones. It's like the new Smash Ultimate.
But the new one, I mean, they new is the best.
The new Zelda. Well, not necessarily the best, but the most content.
Yeah, most content. I mean, you can't go wrong. Like, Ultimate has more than ever.
Yeah,
That's what
Zelda.
you're trying to
Mario
do
has more
here.
than ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you want the most out of your buck.
Exactly. So for a desert island, I would pick Mario Odyssey because I still don't have every freaking moon in that game. It's insane how many moons are
Like,
in that game.
it's 999. It's literally as many Korok seeds as there are in Zelda, which are like the mini things. Because there's a certain amount of shrines, which are pretty much the moons in Odyssey, but Odyssey has 999.
Yeah.
I ended up just resorting to buying them from the shop.
Oh, really?
Because you can go in the very end world, you can literally just buy them.
Yeah. You can just buy, and then it costs a ton of
Yeah.
coins or whatever. But yeah, so Mario Odyssey is my second to last.
That's cool. So my last game is very obvious. It's Destiny. But I picked specifically Destiny 1 because nostalgia overcame me. Because I love Destiny 2 to death. Especially lately, I've gotten back into it. Because there was a long period I literally hadn't played it. But I've gotten back into it. The new season just came out, Season of Drifter. And there's some dope stuff. But see, Destiny 2 just didn't grip me like Destiny 1 did. Like, I'm still obsessed with the game. But Destiny 1 was like my life. Like, you guys used to, how you guys joke about you don't even understand. They would legit, every single time you guys see me, I play Destiny. I remember specifically, we were at Disneyland, and the last day, I couldn't wait to get home to play the new Destiny DLC. And that's how sad it was. Because, like, of course, the whole trip I was fine, but Destiny, just something about it. Something about it is like...
I was fine. I've
Face.
never seen someone more addicted to a game than when you got into Destiny.
Destiny still to this day over every game. Skyrim, Fortnite, Destiny 2, any game.
Didn't
right?
we check his hours one time on Destiny? It was like 3 months.
No, it's 179 days. The closest game to it is Skyrim with 48 days.
Oh my god.
I got Fortnite.
I have no. Fortnite hasn't even beaten Destiny 2 out.
One
yet,
thing to say though
which
is it's
crazy.
like those numbers can't always be that
Right.
accurate. I bet you sometimes it's like, if you
I
leave your
think
game
2K
on.
showed me I had like 390 hours or something.
Yeah.
And I was like,
No way.
No,
a lot of hours.
because I don't think it accounts for you just sitting there being idle. But
Well-
that's also accounting for a lot of games of like Fortnite I haven't done, right? Where I've just like let myself die.
Well, and the Switch shows like the hours you have per game too, and like literally for Smash Ultimate, it already shows I have like 250 hours. I'm like, no way in a heck! Like that game came out 3 months ago.
I don't even think it's been that many hours.
That's impossible. Like I think it takes into account if you leave your system on or something,
Or, like, the
that, it's just
game
counting
open.
it out. Yeah, it's just counting the hours up.
Which I remember back in the day when Skyrim was the thing. They added the feature where you can go into settings and check your hours, and I was like so scared to do it because I remember I was watching all the YouTubers I watched do it, and I'm like, I freaking don't want to see it. And I remember when I did, I was like 48 days. I was like, oh my gosh, because like in perspective, because like it would have been different if it was like 10 days, right? Because that's still a ton because you have to put that into hours of like consistent play. That means I have like a month and a half of my life.
Can you imagine
straight.
just like looking at one of the games you play and it literally says 2 years,
and you're just like
I spent 2 years
of my life
on a
playing
game.
this game.
2 years
on any game is ridiculous.
This picture, you're sitting there for 2 years playing a game.
Non-stop.
get really good at that
Oh my
game.
gosh, yeah.
I don't think you would because you'd have to sleep. You'd just be like, and your character would be like running into a wall.
All right, well, that's a good last pick. My last pick is Rocket League. And I'm going with Rocket League because it's another mindless game that I can just turn on, play for hours.
That's a good one.
Online, just multiplayer, whatever. Just easy money, you know? It's not too much to think about. I think it would be a good Desert Island game because it just never ends. It's just a good multiplayer
I like Rocket League
game. So, yep.
Even when I have played it, it's been fun.
So
Do you
that's
have any games that... Real quick, do you guys have any games that you wish you put on the list?
Oh, I have tons.
That you wanted to? Because, like, I know what I was struggling with is I wanted a Skylanders game because I love Skylanders. There's, like, millions of characters you can choose from. I was going to choose Skylanders Imaginators, but I eventually there was more games that I wanted on it.
Yeah.
I did want a Mario game as well. And if I would have picked one, it would have been Sunshine, just because nostalgia.
I wish I would have picked a 2K probably.
Yeah.
Because I played 2K a lot. I think that's probably the game I've played the most.
I'm surprised you didn't pick 2K over Madden, honestly.
I'm a bigger fan of football, I think.
Yeah.
That's where I struggle.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I had a ton, but a lot of them are games. Or go ahead.
And it's another content thing. Like, there's only 5 positions in NBA, but there's 22 in football.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and like I think my picks would have been different if it was you're stranded on a desert island with Connor and Hasten.
Yeah.
Because then I would have picked like Gauntlet, Dark Legacy. That's it.
No, yeah, I agree. Like things change based on like who's there, what the situation is, because also like these 5 games aren't necessarily my favorite games.
Oh, not by a long shot are these games my
because like there's
even though a lot of them are.
Yeah, a lot of them are my favorite games, but not all of them. Like if there was some that I wanted to put on there that I couldn't, like Evil Within, I would put Resident Evil 4, God of War, Spider-Man,
God of War,
Metroid, the Middle Earth games or Assassin's Creed or whatever, Call of Duty,
I mean,
Uncharted,
tons,
Last of Us,
tons.
there's a ton.
I mean, even something like Age of Empires, which is so replayable.
That would actually be a great pick.
That's what I was gonna pick, and the problem is why I ultimately didn't is because it is really long. If you choose an Age of Empires game and you have all 8 players and they're all against each other, I was at Dad's one time and I literally went over specifically to play Age of Empires.
But that's perfect for
and I was like,
that's perfect for Desert Island, though, right?
Because nobody was attacking each other. They're just building up their resources, taking out every tree.
But that's what you want. I actually might consider putting Age of Empires on my list because that's a great pick.
Yeah.
Because
where can you play Age of Empires now?
It's PC. It's all PC.
They did remaster it. It's
I think I bought it on Steam.
It's
Really?
there's a definitive version of Age of Empires 2, which is
And
the
I
best.
You want
returned
two.
it
Two's the
because I didn't
best.
have anyone to play with.
Get Age of
Two is the
Empires
best.
2 if you get any, because it's the best one.
3 is okay too, but 2's
3
the
was
best.
good. I got into it 3 later on, but not as much as 2. 2 is like the best.
Yeah.
The sounds, bits fear.
It's very, it's theater. It's very nostalgic. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us for our topic. Please, in the comments, leave what you would pick for your 5 Desert Island games. If you could only have 5, what would you choose if you were stuck on a desert island for the rest of your life?
Or if you could only have one. Oh, if you could only have one of those games,
Skyrim.
which one do you choose?
Breath of the Wild.
Skyrim.
So all of ours are like open world, like.
It's because
It
there's so
makes
much.
sense.
It's so much variety.
It's hard though because you almost like
It's
Black
really
Ops
hard.
4.
Yeah, never.
But I just know that if
But
I
I
had to
think
play a
Skyrim-
game for the rest of my life, it's that because think about it, that'd be your one game. I would get so tired of Black Ops. I'd be like, oh, I just can't play Black Ops anymore. Like, I don't.
You wouldn't pick Destiny?
I wouldn't pick Destiny. I'd pick Skyrim 100% because like
so
that's
too.
the thing is for me,
There's variety.
I lose myself.
So
in
there's
Skyrim.
600 hours of content, and you could do that infinite amount of time.
But that's-
'Cause you could do an archer build,
Yeah,
you could do a mage build,
'cause
you could do a one-handed build, you could
that's-
do a stealth build, you could do a,
Yeah,
do a
that's
crossbow
them
build. You could do,
pushing.
like, there's
That-
so many builds.
that's
You
them
could be a
going.
truck. You could be a car. You
Yeah,
could-
that's literally
Like,
them.
destruction, restoration. Like,
That's them trying to like fit it, like be like, oh yeah, there's 600, but in reality, there's infinite because there's so much.
not
variety.
infinite,
No,
but yeah.
literally, you can play the game completely different every single time.
Have you guys seen these
100%.
stats real fast of like companies releasing stats for their game and they're like with all the people in the world that have put in hours to this
Yeah.
game, it's
COD
been
has
like
some of those.
200 years worth or crap like that. It's insane. So like the amount of time played between every person in the world
I
is
saw-
already equaled like 200
I
years.
saw like there was like a
nuts.
joke where they're like, if you combine all the hours played on video games in general, in total, every single video game, it dates back to almost like Jesus, like which is crazy. Like think about that. That's like thousands of years we've played worth of games.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Our lives gone.
Yeah, I think all of our games, mine would be Breath of the Wild, and Breath of the Wild was inspired by Skyrim in many ways.
which I think
They're all
if
very
you
similar.
actually got into Skyrim, because I don't think you've
Oh, yeah.
actually
I haven't,
gotten into
Right.
it yet. So, like
At this point, I'd say wait till the next Elder Scrolls
Yeah, I
because I
guess.
don't know if you would be able to because I think you would obviously be able to see that it's older. For us, it's more nostalgia. Even when we play it, we don't
that's
notice
true,
it's
I
older.
guess.
Yeah.
But for him, because since he hasn't played it, he'd be like, "Oh, it's old."
Well, and I'm sure it's great, and that's like they're the same reasons I picked Breath of the Wild, and you guys picked Skyrim. They're for the same reasons. There's infinite amount of content, variety, and the thing is like I can, if I wanted to, I could run around in Breath of the Wild, and my goal can be I'm gonna just run around and hunt these monsters.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Like that could be your goal. If you want, you can make your own mission.
Yeah, no,
in Skyrim
and that's
for
one
Breath of
thing
the Wild.
that is not talked about is even something like as stupid as it sounds, but like role playing.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, as nerdy as it is, I'll do that sometimes. Like when I'm bored and I'll be like, I want to be specifically a hunter in Skyrim, which hunting in Skyrim is the most pointless, stupid thing. Because, like, you get deer meat that gives you 1 health. So it's like, why do it? So, but
you can get a potion, like potions for free, basically.
Yeah, and so you still can, though. So I remember I would, like, go on my horse and I'd see it and I'd, like, sneak up and do it. And it was still fun. And that's what I was going to bring up is Skyrim never ceases to amaze me because I bought it recently on the Switch, right? For, like, the 5th time. And I still...
5, that's cute.
I still find myself playing it for hours and not even realizing. Like, I'll be playing and I'll be like, it's dark outside. What the frick? Like, because like, you get lost in the game because it becomes you. You're like in the game now because it's one of those games that it's you. Like,
it's like when you're just playing a game and all of a sudden you look down and you peed your pants and you're like, what?
Yeah, and then like you have a beard and then you have a kid
I'm on the
next to
Switch.
you.
Why did you just go to the bathroom?
Also, you got beard. There's a kid next to you and you're homeless. You're like, what happened?
The world's ending. You're like, what the fuck?
What are you doing?
He's peeing.
Oh, were you saying something?
No.
Yeah, you were. What?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, what's going on?
What's going on?
Oh, I don't know.
You were like, you looked really mad. Like, I was saying something.
Wait,
No,
what were you saying?
Nothing.
Yes, you were.
Were you saying something?
No.
Why are you being weird?
What
I'm not. I'm really not. Let's go.
What the frick just happened? Things got weird.
Edward.
End of the world is happening.
Earthquake!
In Utah, it's very real reality, especially lately. Anyway, let's go ahead and go on to our final.
Are we gonna
thing.
do a death match?
This one's gonna be pretty quick, I think. But our death match for today is The Office versus Parks and Rec.
Oh, yeah.
2 of our favorite TV. Would you guys say 2 of your favorite TV shows in terms of?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
would
loved
say so.
Parks and Rec. I mean, especially, I was going to bring this up.
They're 2 of my top 3.
Yeah.
So.
2 of your top 3.
The thing I
Game of Thrones
would
the
say is that Parks and Rec... Ooh. Okay.
What the heck?
No, the first time I watched Parks and Rec, it was decent. Like, I remember the first season I hated, and then I eventually rewatched it. And I got all the way to the last season that was available at the time, which is when like Leslie becomes the president. And she's like 22 years later, or whatever. 10
I think
years
that's the
later.
last That's the last season.
It's not because
I don't
there's
think
a
she
season
becomes
after
the
that.
president.
No, I know, but she gets up in the company and then it says like 2 years later. Now she has kids or something, or like 5 years later.
That's the last season.
No, because
Yeah.
then there's a season after that.
No,
that's
that's
the
the
older.
last season.
Of her older.
No,
Yeah, that's
that
the last
is
season.
the last
Her
season.
being older is the last season.
Yeah, I know. Look, on the last episode of the season of the episode.
Yeah.
On
It
the
shows
last
the
episode,
flash forward.
right before, it shows the flash
takes
forward.
place in 2017.
And that was the only one available when I finished it the first time. Because then Netflix got the next season. But I remember I was like, yeah, it was decent. It wasn't as much as Connor hyped it up because he was like, oh, it could be better than Office. And I was like, no. But then I rewatched it earlier this year. Or no, like last year, end of last year. And I loved it. I don't know what it was, why I watched it differently this time. I think it's because I actually watched it instead of like putting it on and playing
Once you understood the characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like for certain characters alone, like freaking Nick Offerman,
He's the best. Ron Swanson.
awesome. Ron Swanson is so perfect.
I just thought of a great topic.
Ron Swanson versus who?
No, I was thinking just a topic we should rank The Office and Parks and Rec characters. Like, who's the best going down, like the top 10 Office, Parks and Rec characters.
Because even something like Ben Wyatt, right, didn't get introduced until I think like season 3 or 4 even. Is one of the best characters. He's so freaking funny, and like
Him setting up his claymation freaking show.
My favorite-
Him
stop
making his game.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Cones,
The
Cones of Babylon,
Dunshire.
Cones of
Cones of
Dunshire.
Dunshire. Yeah, I freaking love these episodes. Like.
The freaking accountant guy who's like always trying to be his friend. Like,
Because he like loves him, and Ben always quits. He
Yeah.
always quits. It's freaking
I
hilarious.
think he quit like 4 times.
Yeah.
And then like it's got one of the best songs. Bye bye, little Sebastian.
Chris
Freaking
Pratt.
Miss
oh.
you in satisfaction.
And like one thing is, it makes you care for the character so much because like. I remember when I first saw Amy Poehler, I was like, disgusted. Like, what the frick? Because I
Gosh.
thought she was so.
You were like,
ugly.
she's Amy Schumer.
Yeah, literally no. I was like, ew. I cannot watch the show if she's the main character. And for some reason, she got really attractive. Like, I don't know what it is, but as you're watching the show, you're like, damn,
Hey, babe.
she kind of hot though.
So did Michael Scott. I tell you what. I started out. I'm like, I cannot watch.
No,
this
but
if
like-
he's the main
like,
character.
Oh, dang, Michael. Strut that
but,
stuff.
but you know what I mean? Like, I ended up caring for the characters even though they're not real, you know? Like, one of my favorite characters is Rob Lowe's character.
Rob Lowe's. Pablo?
Roblo.
Okay.
I said Roblo.
I thought you said Pablo.
No, I said Roblo.
Yeah, Roblo.
Chris Traeger.
Chris Traeger. Yeah, because he's always that. And Perkins. Yeah. It's freaking hilarious because it's like one of my favorite episodes is he's like, I'm literally dying of depression. And then he just starts running. He's literally one of the most underrated characters in the show.
Well,
funny.
And he leaves early on, which sucks.
Yeah, one of the things I think Parks and Rec struggled with at the very beginning. A lot of people don't like the first season of Parks and Rec. I think it's okay.
Which is understandable.
It's
There's
understandable.
only 6 episodes.
Yeah, there's only 6
I mean,
episodes.
one of the
Same
main
with The
characters
Office.
from the first season isn't even in the rest of the series.
That's how a lot
That
of pilot seasons go. Because,
Whatever
like,
it
the
was.
pilot season, they don't really know what the show is going to be.
They're changing stuff.
They're changing stuff, exactly. Like, Aziz Ansari in the first season of Parks and Rec
Nothing
is a
like
jerk,
douche.
dude.
Oh my
he is
gosh.
such a jerk to Amy
Remember, he's
Poehler,
only...
everyone.
Yeah, he's rude to
I mean,
everyone.
he kind of is through it.
No, but he
Yeah,
becomes
but
like
not
a
as
joke.
bad.
Not as bad.
Because he becomes more of like a joke. Oh, and
Yeah.
who's the other guy?
Oh, freaking my favorite character from Parks and Rec. Oh my gosh.
Ron?
No.
Uh,
Aziz Ansari.
John Ralphio.
John Ralphio. He's like, because I'm depressed.
And then I love his sister. I freaking made a fool of myself. on
Mona
that
Lisa.
episode where he's like, money please.
Oh, right. Yeah, money please.
Yeah. But it's funny because one of the biggest problems with Parks and Rec in the first season was they tried so hard to
be The
make
Office.
Amy Poehler Steve Carell. Like,
Yeah.
I noticed that.
in the first season,
Like, where she's
she
clueless
is so
and stupid.
clueless and stupid. She's trying so hard to be Michael from The Office.
Where she doesn't really understand. Like, she's like, oh, I love the parks department. And she doesn't realize that everyone's being mean to her.
Yeah,
and that
exactly.
everyone's rude.
Yeah, she's dumb.
Yeah, and I like that she becomes level-headed and is a smart character.
What actually made her a compelling character is she wasn't Michael. She actually became like
Jim.
like smart and
Yeah.
like and not stupid like Michael is most of the
Yeah,
time. You know?
like she was, and she almost was like what people should be in the world, like, or you should be positive, like, even though she's not stupid.
that's
she's
why
just
she was the
being
perfect
positive.
casting for Joy in
Oh,
Inside
yeah.
Out.
Yeah, and like that is true. I think the character development was a lot stronger in Parks and Rec for me, because like I think the only characters you end up caring for after The Office is like you care for Dwight, Jim, Pam, like Michael. I don't know how I forgot his name, but the rest of the characters, they're kind of like, yeah, like, you know, like there's some ones that you like Creed and Kevin, but like I don't really care for Angela and Meredith and all those. But all the characters in Parks and Rec, they develop really well. Even somebody like Jerry. He goes from Jerry to Gary to Terry
To Larry.
to Larry, and then it shows his backstory and how he came to the Parks Department.
How he has
he's
this insanely hot
wife, insanely hot daughters, and he's like, how he had dreams as he was young and stuff. It's cool because then you're like, oh, it's so sad for Terry, you know,
Or Larry or Gary.
or whatever his name is, yeah. And he's like bullied all the time.
yeah, that's
And
one
then
of the
on his day of his
funniest things.
retirement, nobody knows he was retiring. He's like, I told you guys last week. And then it shows him telling them, and he's like, guys, I'm retiring. And they're like, look how fat Larry is.
I like how he just like comes back to randomly like,
All the time.
He just
Comes
back
out of
and he's
retirement.
Well, yeah, he comes out of retirement. He's just like, I'm working.
I
on it
got
again.
bored.
and like nobody remembers. And then he has like this insanely hot wife and kids and stuff like that. It's
He's
just
got like the happiest life at home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like even characters that you hate, right? Because the only thing I don't like about The Office, right, is the characters who are annoying, they're always annoying. Meredith, she's always annoying. She never really has like a moment where you're like, oh, Meredith, I like her, I care for her. Like,
Yeah.
she gets rabies, she's annoying, she gets hit by Michael's car, who cares?
Yeah.
Right?
Meredith sucks.
Meredith is the worst character in The Office.
Probably.
But then even somebody like Aziz Ansari, who's annoying, he's like really
At first.
cringy at first. But then you see like his softer sides and his angry sides and you know, and like him trying at the end. I remember at the end of the series he starts trying to get his own businesses.
He opens
Tom's
Place.
Bistro.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Tommy's Place, I think it's like a
Well, there's Entertainment 720, which is one of my favorite
which goes
things
out
they
of
do.
business.
It's just like they spent all this money on this.
Yeah.
It reminded me of like the Fire
It's
Festival.
basically a club.
Yeah, it's like
But
the
it's like
club.
super. There's
If
like money fountains.
yeah, if like the Fire Festival people made a club, it's like Entertainment 720. It's
Yeah.
like what even is this
Which
place?
goes.
And then they hire some basketball player to just shoot hoops.
Yeah, yeah.
for no reason.
Yeah, and then when he tries to give them advice, they're like, "We didn't pay you to give us advice."
Yeah, just shoot hoops, and then they throw money at him.
And then like he eventually like he buys out a club and then sells it, and then he gets like Tom's Bistro and Tommy's Place. And, yeah, it's really cool to see like the character development, you know, and I respect that. The stupid characters aren't always stupid.
Well,
Like Chris Pratt's character.
Ron Swanson freaking giving the kid like a mine or something.
Yeah, he gives the kid a claymore. Yeah,
He's like, here's your.
he's like,
gift.
here, take this claymore mine as a token.
And then I think
mine.
Amy Poehler's like, no.
No, then no, she doesn't, because then her mom
yeah.
brings her in and she's like, "What do you think was a good idea to give my child a claymore?"
Yeah. But we haven't talked about The Office at all. So, if we're debating here,
It's hard because we've talked about The Office. So we haven't talked about
yeah.
Real quick. Parks and Rec, there's the episode where he meets other Ron, and other Ron, he's like getting along with him, and then all of a sudden other Ron's like, I like to go into the nature. And
Sam Elliott, yeah.
And then it shows Ron, he's like, I do not like other Ron.
Yeah, Sam Elliott is awesome. Yeah, and I love how all of a sudden Sam Elliott's just like so one with the world. He's just like, the eagles fly on the mountain.
You never know, brother.
You never know.
I don't like you.
Yeah, but so I would say that most people. I mean, I don't know. From everything I've heard from people, I feel like a lot of people actually like Parks and Rec more than The Office, which I think we're the opposite.
I don't know about that, because
But-
I feel like unanimously, Office is known as the better show and the
I actually think Parks and Rec
more
is.
known.
I think Parks and Rec is known as the more critically acclaimed show because
Maybe critically.
The Office. The thing is, with The Office, I enjoy like spoilers for the end of this. I'm probably gonna pick The Office, but like I think The Office is in terms of most people, I think that show falls off after Michael leaves. I think for most people, they didn't like the last two seasons.
Until like the last episode.
I mean, I liked the last two.
I
seasons.
still-
they're not as good as the seasons with Michael.
They
but they're
weren't.
still
Yeah,
good.
yeah. They're still decent. Like they remind me of like after the first season of Parks and Rec, like the second and third episode seasons of Parks and Rec. They were decent. They still had that weird dude. Remember the bearded guy who was dating Anne, and then he left randomly.
Oh no, I liked him.
No, I know, but
I always thought it was weird that he
during
left.
that, it was like a weird stage of the show. It was like very, they didn't really know what they were, the show was, but then they got their stride and they started doing really good. Office had the opposite effect. Season 1, freaking hilarious, and
It's
it
because
goes
they
better.
got so
and then
big and they got so star-studded that these characters had to leave.
They had
Like,
to,
a lot-
yeah.
I'm surprised, freaking even some of the other characters.
Like Ed Helms stayed.
I know,
Like,
and he was
surprised about that.
being in Hangover at the time and stuff. And
Well, season 1 though of The Office actually is very different than what a lot of the show is, like in terms of the characters.
But it's
I
still
think season
hilarious.
1 is hilarious, but
it's very different.
Kevin-
It's over the top.
yeah,
Even-
like,
even
Creed,
the
Creed is
feeling-
normal in season 1. It's like what the heck?
even the
He's talking to
feeling
Michael
of the
like a normal
show.
person.
Even the feeling of the show is really different.
Yeah.
It's like
One, it's filmed a little different too.
Yeah.
Like it's filmed like more
More close up
Close
even.
up, yeah. It's like
Like shaky
I'm Michael,
almost.
like
Yeah.
hello, yeah. It's weird.
you have come to the master for guidance, a grasshopper.
Yeah, so freaking Office is hilarious. I think Office, in terms of funny moments, has the edge over Parks and Rec. I think Parks and Rec...
Characters probably goes to Parks and Rec, though. Like
It's
the
tough.
development of characters probably
Yeah,
goes to Parks and
I'd
Rec.
agree.
Development.
But like, just generally like funniness and my enjoyment of the show, like Office takes it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I'd actually agree with Hasten. I'd say I think Office eventually boiled down to they realized that their main core of the show was the funny, right? But I
The
think
funny and that love interest.
yeah,
The funny, yeah, exactly.
in the love
Those
interest,
relationships and
which that
laughs.
definitely beats over Parks and Rec with any of the relationships they had. Of course, they
It's
had
like
like
just owning government,
Yeah.
basically.
But with Parks and Rec, is I feel like they eventually realized that their strong point was character development, and it wasn't
Well, and
necessarily the
storyline.
jokes.
I
Yeah,
think storyline too.
because they actually had a consistent storyline where there wasn't like different
Well, yeah,
companies buying company.
one of the biggest storylines from the beginning of Parks and Rec is Leslie's journey to becoming like a politician.
No, not even that.
Well,
The
that's-
one of the main
what I'm saying
storylines
is,
is
like-
her building that park.
Well, yeah, building.
She
I
doesn't
think
build
that's-
till
I
season
think-
4.
I think it's like season 3 or 2.
The one that she builds right next to Anne's
Yeah.
house literally
Takes a
takes
long
forever.
time.
Does it take that long?
It's
Wow.
literally like season 4 when.
Well, either way, that's what I mean though. Is I think Parks and Rec has the better storylines.
Yeah, 'cause
I
Ben
think-
Wyatt's helped
I think
them
the
build it.
characters have better motivation for what they're doing. At the end of the day, in The Office, what I love about The Office is it's these characters who work in an office. That's it. It's
And-
just like this is their day to day lives.
there's never like an overarching story like, oh, they're
Yeah.
trying to get to this goal.
Yeah, Parks and Rec. It's like they have goals. They're trying to like the episodes lead to something.
And that's what
there.
develops the characters so well.
Yeah.
You know, because of course there's like the mini storylines in Office where it's like, oh, you know, Pam and Jim and they want to get married, and then like stuff with other characters and a lot of love interests.
If you think about it, and this goes back to the last 2 seasons of The Office and why it struggled, is like all the major relationship things and character development things were finished when Michael left. Michael found a girl. He found Holly. They left together. Pam and Jim were married. They had a kid, I think, at that point, right? It's like two. So it's like there wasn't much else for relationship wise. I mean, there was like Ed Helms and
Dwight and Angela.
Ed Helms and
what was her name?
Aaron.
But they didn't.
But
even
get
work out,
together.
which was stupid. That's one of the worst parts of The Office.
What bothers me is one of the worst parts of the show is the last season. They have a really good thing going with Dwight and Angela, where they're finally starting to get back together and they're starting to like. But then like some bad stuff happens. But then literally randomly, the episode before the last, they're like, "I want to marry you," and yeah, let's do it. And then they're like, fine with it. They don't develop that enough. Like, of course, they've been together throughout the series. But it was like they had to rush and quickly get them to marry each other before the last episode. It was weird. I didn't like that aspect. Because, like, it's one of the weirdest things. Like, all of a sudden, Angela's crying. Like, I love him. I love Dwight. Right after she breaks up with him.
I don't know. That built up for how many years? I mean, that built up. They loved each other throughout the whole series.
Well, yeah, but I feel like it was out of the blue. Like, very out of the blue. Because literally, after she broke up with the senator, she had no reason to get back with Dwight. Like, there wasn't any moments when she was, like, looking at him, like gawking at him or anything. It was literally, like, right after the senator, all of a sudden she was like, I love Dwight. You know, it was really weird. There wasn't, like, that special moment, you know, like he helped her out or something, you know? Yeah. If anything, he was doing things mean to her, and then she was still like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's really tough, because in terms of sitcom-y, like, comedy TV shows, I think Office and Parks and Rec are my two favorites.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I have other ones, too, but those are my top two. But if we had to remove one from existence, this is one thing I was going to bring up, is if we're playing in terms of favorites, I think we're all in agreement with Office, right?
The Office.
I think The Office. I think that's just because we can literally turn on any random episode and it's funny. And it's one episode, there's a story for that episode and it's done. With Parks and Rec, though, it's like we were talking about. Like, you might start a random episode, and it's like, oh, but it's like
it's more of a story
parts.
episode.
Like, it's going to lead in for the rest of the season. Yeah. You need to kind of,
because there are a lot of episodes of Parks and Rec that are just basically all story. Yeah, it's like, what's the word? Conjecture.
Well,
what's the word?
It continues. It just there's like a through line for it.
It's purely like informational. It's like that. Like, it's an informational episode where there's literally no.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the movie term.
Yeah. Why am I blanking on this?
We'll come back to it.
Anyway, but there's a lot of episodes where, like, you'll start it up and it's just purely informational. It's purely, like, storyline, drama, even some sad moments. There's not a lot of comedy. So you couldn't really turn on the episode and be like, oh, yeah. You'd be kind of like...
Like, backstory. I know what you're talking about. Like, oh, my gosh. That's going to bother the crap out of me. I know the term.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking of.
Oh, my gosh.
But anyway.
Of course it's not going to come to me.
But yeah, you were saying, like, we'd lose these actors.
Yeah. So let's play a little devil's advocate here with this, where if we erased this other one from existence, the one we don't pick, pretend we erased Parks and Rec from existence, I think there's a very likely possibility Chris Pratt would not be who he is today. Yeah. He would not be in Guardians of the Galaxy. He would not be in Jurassic World. I don't think he would be a household name like he is. I think he became famous because of Parks and Rec.
Here's my defense. Parks and Rec has a lot of actors that were already pretty known. Amy Poehler was already on SNL at the time. Nick Offerman was already in shows. He was a voice actor.
But they became popular because of the show.
But even Ann Perkins, she was already in Office. She'd already been in stuff. Yeah. There wasn't a lot of actors besides Chris Pratt and maybe Aziz Ansari that got recognized because of Parks and Rec. Because I do think because of Parks and Rec, definitely Aziz Ansari and Chris Pratt were totally the ones, the up-and-comers. Everyone was like, oh yeah, these guys are good. It's like, think about it. Chris Pratt's wife in the show, Aubrey Plaza, didn't really go anywhere.
Well, she's
been in, like,
she's always kind of been the same character,
and she's been in things.
Rob Lowe was already known. He was already
Rob Lowe was already a big household name since like the freaking 90s. Mm-hmm. Even Ben Wyatt was in stuff before that. He had been a big
Walter Mitty.
He was in Walter Mitty, and he's a pretty big time.
I mean, that was during the same time, but yeah.
So there wasn't a lot of actors that we'd lose. The big one is obviously Chris Pratt. We wouldn't have Jurassic World, potentially, as far as him being the character.
Chris Pratt's definitely... He's the one that got the biggest career after Parks and Rec, period. And we would lose... I mean, that is a big deal. Like, who would be playing Star-Lord?
Would it be the same?
It'd be interesting. And then Jurassic World would have an entirely new lead, more than likely. And also, Chris Pratt maybe would have never gotten fit. He would have always just been fat.
And he's even great. Emmett from Lego.
Yeah, he's in a ton of stuff.
He's in a ton of stuff. I mean, and there's even more stuff that
he's going to be in the new Indiana Jones.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah. And so... That's big, but think about what we'll lose from Office. Steve Carell is huge. The biggest. Not only that, but then John Krasinski. So that's Quiet Place. That's all those.
John Krasinski though didn't have really a big comeback until last couple of years.
Yeah, it's still losing him. It's still losing him though. right?
Sure. Yeah.
Rainn Wilson, one of our favorite actors.
Yeah, but he hasn't
been in
really.
anything, but we're still losing.
Super.
We're still,
And, the Meg.
and we're still losing him though.
Yeah.
Like we never would have known who
That
Rainn
is
Wilson
true. Like
was.
losing Dwight would be a crazy.
Would be
thing.
sucky.
Like as a character.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
'cause
they're-
he's iconic.
And that's crazy to me. I mean, even Ed Helms, like he's been in a lot, and every time I've watched him, I usually think he's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I just
Well,
think
and Ed
there's
Helms, like, I mean, yeah, he was in Hangover and stuff like that, but I think he's even a person that kind of got his name recognition from The Office.
Yes, and like even Mindy Kaling and
Oh yeah, Mindy Kaling's huge now too.
BJ Novak.
BJ Novak.
I mean,
was in-
BJ Novak.
He was
hasn't
in
done a
Mary
ton.
Poppins.
He does a lot of writing
Return
stuff,
to
I think, though.
No.
yeah, the Mary Poppins movie about the storyline.
What? Oh,
Saving Mr.
Saving
Banks.
Mr. Banks. I was like, Mary Poppins Returns.
No, he was not in that. He was in Saving Mr. Banks.
Yeah, he was in Amazing
About-
Spider-Man 2.
It's Amazing Spider-Man 2. And like there's a lot of big people that we got from that show.
Mm-hmm.
Even like the small actors, which is cool.
And there's a ton of guest stars on The Office that obviously are Idris Elba, Will Ferrell.
And that wouldn't affect the thing. The
Sure.
story, though.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know.
Like, it wouldn't
yeah.
affect their careers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
per se.
true. Robert California.
Will Ferrell was
I mean,
already
dude,
huge.
even
Yeah.
Daryl. Even Daryl.
Oh, Daryl. Yeah,
Daryl was
that's
in
a great.
Hot
Craig
Tub.
Robinson.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Craig
probably
Robinson.
wouldn't be. He's pretty big too.
He's a pretty big comedian now. I mean,
Yeah. So even
Your
with
selection.
yeah. So what would you guys pick even with that in mind?
Office.
Office. I mean,
You guys made this way too easy.
here's the
It's
problem.
hard
is
to change. It's
I-
hard to change my mind on that because
Yeah.
I've grown up with it. It's something I can't lose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm with you on that. It was and I watched The Office first. Way
I guess I
before
didn't grow up
watched,
with it. I watched it
and-
starting like in
yeah.
high school, but
And not to like be a downer, but I don't know about you guys, but it helped me through some times. Like it's a nice comic relief in your
Yeah.
life where like you have like a hard day and you go watch just an episode of Office. You just
It
throw it on and
really-
you're like, oh my gosh, that's freaking
It
hilarious.
really can put you in like a good mood.
Yeah, it
like,
can.
You can be
And they'll
just
even
like in
bring-
whatever mood and watch that and laugh.
It even has like some good values where I'll watch an episode and it's something I'm like having a hard time with, and they'll talk about it in the show but make it like a joke, and then I'll be like, yeah, maybe
It's
it's
like
not so
freaking
bad.
like Dragon Tales or some PBS show.
Yeah, like
that's why you don't steal.
that's
but
why
they-
you don't smoke crack.
yeah.
yeah, but like I don't know, I can't. You can't lose Office because I love Parks and Rec so much, but not at the same level, not nearly at the same level.
I don't think for me it's not like not nearly at the same
Yeah,
level.
kind of same
But,
with you.
but I love Office.
Because for me,
so
I think Parks and Rec
pick
would be more
Office.
similar if I had to compare. Like, of course, it's a similar show to Office, but as far as like, as much as I like it, I'd compare it to more Friends. Because Friends was more of like along the lines of Parks and Rec. Because Office just destroys those two. But those are more on the same level where it'd be harder for me to pick between those two than these two.
Huh. Yeah, see, for me, they're right neck and neck, but Office gets the edge just because of nostalgia. It was the
The
first one I
Office.
watched.
It's
And
The
it's funny.
Office.
It's The Office. Exactly. Real fast before we wrap up, I just want to do this quick BuzzFeed thing. It's a poll. I thought this would be kind of funny. So this is on BuzzFeed. 14 polls that only fans of Office and Parks and Rec can answer. Who would you guys trust to solve a case? Burt Macklin or Michael Scarn?
Ooh,
Macklin.
Burt Macklin.
Burt Macklin. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so too.
Burt Macklin was better. He actually did solve cases.
Yeah, Michael Scarn wouldn't do much.
Michael Scarn wasn't even real.
I mean, Michael Scarn did save
The world.
The world, though.
From
In Michael's mind, yeah.
from
Yeah.
Golden Face.
So
If we're talking about real Michael Scarn, I'd choose Michael
yeah,
Scarn.
if we're talking real,
But it would be
real
actually just Michael Scarn.
yeah. How would you hire? Who would you hire to build your table? Shroot Farms
Ron
or
Swanson.
Very Good
Oh,
Building
Ron
Company?
Swanson. That's not even a. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah. Shroot Farms, heck no. I don't know. Dwight is very.
He is
ingenuity,
good,
too.
but Ron Swanson's a
Swanson's
master.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Yeah.
Remember he built like
Next.
remember he was like, I built this canoe, and then he like destroyed it or something. Like he's built in so many crazy things.
yeah,
Ron Swanson.
yeah, and he wins all the. Yeah, that's. Who would you rather be friends with, Toby Flenderson or Craig Middlebrooks? Craig is the
Oh, gosh,
guy
the guy that yells.
Yeah, the guy that yells on Parks and Rec all the time.
Oh
like,
no!
Why are you doing that?
He was in like the last season. I
Yeah.
hate Toby.
Toby seems like a normal dude.
Toby
Toby.
is a nice dude. He
And
just
like
gets crap from
he would
Michael.
just keep to himself. I'd be like, yeah,
Yeah.
let him play games.
Yeah, Toby for sure.
Even though I hate Toby.
Which couple? I'm gonna change this question because I don't like the way they phrase it. Which couple would you choose, Jim and Pam or April?
Jim and
Andy?
Pam.
Jim and Pam.
Jim and Pam. Yeah.
April and Andy don't even compare. They're a good couple, but they don't compare to Jim and Pam.
Yeah.
Jim and Pam are like some of the best couples in history.
Same. This one, I don't know how much we'll like this one, but who would you go shopping with? Kelly Kapoor or Donna Meagle?
Donna Meagle. She was cool.
Yeah.
She had that treat
Yeah, and
yourself
Kelly's
day.
annoying.
And Donna Meagle was actually pretty cool. I eventually got to like her. She was more like the Gucci, like, money. Mindy Kaling was just annoying.
Yeah. Who would you rather be friends with? Ann Perkins or Karen
Filippelli.
Filippelli?
What?
Yeah.
Ann Perkins.
Ann Perkins.
They're the same. They're literally the same character
But,
almost.
I mean,
Ann Perkins.
Yeah, Ann Perkins.
Plus Karen Filippelli's.
Ann Perkins.
Ann Perkins.
I don't know. They were both cool, though. They basically were the same character. I like to think that it is the same character. And that
She just
Karen
changed her
went
name.
to wherever Parks and Rec is. Is it like Illinois or something like that?
No, it's
Yeah.
Pawnee. It's
Pawnee, Illinois.
Indiana.
It is
Pawnee and Indiana.
Indiana.
It's not a real place, but...
Pawnee's
Pawnee's
where
not-
they
Pawnee's-
are.
yeah,
Pawnee's not real.
it's not a real place. I think I looked this up the other day.
Scranton's real.
I actually think I looked this up the other day, and I don't think either of them are... Scranton's a real
No,
place,
Scranton is real.
but I don't think it's actually filmed in Scranton.
No, I know. It's Scranton, Pennsylvania.
It's filmed in California.
I doubt it's filmed in Scranton, but I know Scranton, Pennsylvania is a real place.
Okay.
It's fine. Let's
'Cause
move
I've
on.
looked it up.
Who would you rather pet? Champion or Bandit?
Champion.
Oh, Champion.
Yeah.
Bandit's a cat.
Yeah, Champion for sure.
Champion is the one without a leg.
Who would you rather have as a boss? Leslie Knope or Michael Scott?
Michael Scott.
Ooh.
Michael Scott, though, is in
I'd rather
idiot.
have Michael Scott because I feel like I could get away with
And
it.
Leslie Knope would make you work.
Yeah,
I choose
Leslie
Michael.
Knope would be like, you need to work.
I choose Michael.
Yeah, Michael Scott.
I don't know what I was thinking.
I mean, she would be more, like, knowledgeable, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Which Andy would you rather hang out with? Andy Bernard or Andy Dwyer?
Andy Dwyer, he's cool. He's like a rock star.
Dwyer's hilarious.
Yeah.
And
the things he do.
Andy's kind of weird and awkward.
Andy Bernard is, like, annoying sometimes, though. Like, I love
like
Andy.
when he dresses up as the cat for Halloween, he's like, meow. Like, what the frick?
Or when- I was just watching the episode the other day where Daryl finds out his grandma died. And they
Congratulations, buddy.
Yeah, congratulations, guy.
1, 2, 3, 4. And Daryl's like
Yeah,
crying.
he cried, and then it just cuts.
And then I love the part where Daryl's like talking to Andy. He's like, well, let me tell you this. If I had to choose between a guy like me and a guy like you who likes wearing sweaters and likes talking about sweaters, I choose you.
You remember some of the most random.
No, because that part's so funny. Because it's true.
Who would you? What? Who would be your work husband? It's a weird question.
Dude, change it to work wife and make your own characters.
Okay, well they're all dudes, so
Make up your own.
okay. Out of all the girls from
Parks and Rec
Pam.
Office.
Pam, yeah.
I don't know. Karen Phillips is pretty hot.
Karen is, but
Pam, though.
But Pam,
I love
it's
her
more,
personality.
The thing is Pam would be. I mean, Karen Phillips would be purely lust. I'd want
Yeah.
her for her body and her looks. But Pam,
Yeah.
because I want a relationship.
yeah, Pam is like somebody you'd want to marry for sure.
Let's wrap this up.
Oh, okay, crap. They just had the wife one. A nerd character to hang out with. Ben White or Dwight?
Dwight.
Dwight. I mean, no, Dwight's weird.
Dwight
I'd be scared of
yeah,
Dwight.
Dwight. I'd go for it. He'd
I'd go
kill
Ben.
me.
Which business are you most likely to invest in?
Scranton.
Rent a swag or Woof?
Oh, Rent a Swag.
Rent a
Rent a
Swag.
Swag actually
That was a
did
good
stuff.
idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, remember it actually worked until the guy bought
Well,
him out.
I actually think Woof's a good idea too. He just did it horribly.
He did not do good.
No.
Woof!
What they buy it for is like
who's that guy up there?
Washington University Physics Health
No,
Department.
remember he's like, oh, wait, guys, who's up there? Who's up there? Hey, that's Ryan Howard from Woof. He's throwing down Woof condoms.
Oh yeah, that's right. Which band, Mouse Rat or Scrantonicity?
Mouse.
Oh, Mouse Rat.
Mouse Rat.
Scrantonicity with Kevin.
Yep. All right, that wraps them all up. But
All right.
Anyway, yeah, I thought that'd be fun.
I think that's a good place to end it.
Yep. We thank you guys.
Episode number 11.
Oh, 12.
12.
Episode 12. That's right. Forgot to say that at the beginning. We thank you guys for listening, watching. Do you guys have anything to say, pimp
Check
out?
out our social media.
Social medias,
Picked
we
out at the
just,
beginning of the
yeah,
show.
and also there'll probably be. Do you link them in the bio at all? Or the description at all?
Of the what? Social
The
media?
social medias.
Oh, no, I should. That's a good
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
If so, then just look in the description. If they're not there, then just go to the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. Just talk to us, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
us
eventually
feedback.
give up and stop doing this. I'm just kidding.
Well, thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you guys next episode.
Bye.